Made out of cinnamon dough filled with pasta.
Copying my style? I would if I could.
Bitch.
Look at me.
You got some.
Get some schmutz.
What do you think of this one?
Do I have a sty?
Oh, it was all a ploy
It's
to get you
good.
to smell.
Give me again. It's a little old lady, but
Do
it's
that
good.
one.
I like how you pull away when you smell.
I don't smell anything.
Now bend the other way.
You're
Smell
right.
this one.
What about this one?
Oh, we're live, by the way.
It's a little old lady, but I like it.
But I like it.
I'm forgetting something. Oh, I'm
By the
forgetting
way-
something.
I apologize if anybody gets ill.
I've been swimming
The other
in raw
night,
sewage.
the reading of the grunting cards totally messed up my throat.
Oh no, it made you susceptible.
But
During that's what she
I got
said.
home and went to sleep and woke up with a sore throat.
Well, I mean, that
No,
doesn't mean you're sick.
it's a sick sore throat. Not like a sick, but like congested, soft palate sore throat.
Well, I'll try not to kiss you
Are you asking for one of us to rub your throat?
from the
I
inside.
mean, I'll do it. From the inside. That's good.
Oh, with the
Just lay back.
fingers.
Just lay back.
Oh,
Oh, you guys thought with the...
that's what was going on.
I guess it's not as funny with fingers. I thought this was going to be really funny.
I mean, that is funny, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were talking
Oh man, they had the chocolate frosted.
The friend club.
That's
It
the
was
best
labeled-
one.
It was labeled chocolate frosted, but it had snowflakes on it as well.
You don't
And I
need
said, I'll
that.
take one of the chocolate frosted. And he pulls this out from underneath the counter.
That's the
Man,
best.
I'm feeling
That's the
congested
best
today. Can
donut
I have
they
a
make.
chocolate frosted donut?
It had sprinkles on it. The one I wanted had sprinkles on it that looked like snowflakes,
No,
and it's snowing
I was just talking about
outside.
being
It's not
congested
snowing
and
outside
eating
anymore.
chocolate
It was.
frosting.
Did
Sprinkles.
you guys have Andrew's shovel? Since he
Andrew
misses it?
did shovel
He did.
till
I
I
was
told him he
gonna-
wasn't allowed to.
Yeah,
Told him
I'm
right
like,
at the
what are you,
onset.
little California boy? You're not allowed to be out there. You'll freeze to death.
He was being very nice about it.
California boy.
But what she
Watch
really
out.
wanted to
Go,
say
go,
was,
go.
shut the fuck up because it's loud.
There you
No,
and don't
absolutely
open
not.
my garage without
Who
permission
was it,
again.
like 6 o'clock?
No, it was like noon.
All right, let's do
Was
this.
he out there in like a neon colored sleeveless shirt and like shorts?
Like gains for days,
because
it
he's-
says on it or
he's-
something.
yeah.
and,
Or like
and
swole.
roller skates.
Yeah, I had like an LA Dodgers hat with the brim not bent at all, and I had like these skater shorts with like a chain, and I was wearing my Etnies shoes, like skater shoes,
Right.
and I was 45 years old, and I didn't give a shit that I looked like a 16-year-old
Boy toy.
boy toy.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast. So it's at 646, the Kyurem podcast.
This is a
Serum.
small group today.
I hardly know him.
Usually, well, not usually. Nikki Hill's been around lately.
I'd say we
But
usually have like 4.
there was a while where it was us 3 because other people were
Oh,
busy.
yeah,
Well, now that
so
Lou's
This
a
crowd
daddy
is huge.
and a husband, can't come around anymore. Mom, Brain, tell us about Kyurem.
Curum.
He's one of Macaulay Culkin's brothers, right? Kieran?
Kieran Culkin, yes.
Kyurem Culkin.
Yes.
Who's married? Who's got a husband?
It's a Culkin type.
Lube has
I
a
said
husband.
he's a husband.
Oh.
Lube.
Well, he was hardly around. You know, he was working so much.
Are we ready?
He's a working man.
Working for
Tell us
peanuts.
about Kieran.
Working for Kieran.
Curum.
Working for Jenko.
Isn't that a Jewish holiday?
Kieran damn near killed
Curum.
him.
Curum.
Uh,
While it's not known to
Damn near
evolve
cured
into
him.
or from any Pokemon, it has 2 other forms which are activated by using the DNA splicers on it and either Reshiram or Zekrom, resulting in a process called absiffusion that remove. This is not.
Absa.
I thought-
Fusion.
In a process called playing God.
It's a gray and blue bipedal Pokemon of indefinable but seemingly draconic basis.
Yep.
It's real long. Kyurem has a blue head and snout and and has yellow eyes without pupils. Has a pair of pointed light bluish horns on its head and a yellow crest on its skull. 3 pointed teeth jut out of the bottom of either side of its jaws, which are frozen shut by the ice covering its head. Its long gray neck has lines running around its whole body, legs, arms, and tail. It has
Its
2
long
arms,
gray
each,
neck ain't what it used to be.
each with its own claw, and each arm is joined together from its oddly shaped blue wings, which are believed to be used for flying and storing cold air. Each wing has 2 spikes of ice. The ice covering the wings can break, revealing gray tendril-like appendages on Kyurem's on his back. The right side of his body seems to be damaged in some way, as the wing and horn on its head on that side are shorter. The right side of its head
All
also
of them
has
appear
spiked
damaged?
edge near its jaw hinge that is absent from its left. Its legs are somewhat slender and has
Oh my!
3
We're doing
sharp,
one paragraph.
I know, ice-like
I love-
claws on each of its enormous foot.
They just get longer and
It's like
longer.
Pokemon for the blind. Like I'm trying to picture what this thing looks like, and it never turns out how.
You know what we should do? We
it
should have
actually
someone do an
looks.
artist rendering.
Yes.
As that reads.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Like
Yeah,
a
an
police
artist sitting
sketch
at the table.
of
Yeah.
the description.
On each enormous foot, sorry. Its tail has 3 blue conical spikes on its tip and appears to be some sort of propulsion device or a container of energy. Exactly what it is based on is unclear, but it may turbine. I don't think I would have ever put those words together in my mouth in my life.
Oh,
ever.
yeah, that guy.
He's cool again. He is a dragon ice type. His abilities include Turbo Blaze and Terravolt.
Turbo Blaze, am I right?
They are
Turbo
genderless.
420 Blaze.
Oh, okay.
They're 9 feet tall and they're 716 pounds.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
so is it safe to say that if you have one of them char lizards that you bring them up against
There you
your
go.
Kyurem?
I wouldn't have gotten that at all, man. Some
Oh.
like people write out the description for these, right? It's not a computer-generated description writer. It's a human that actually takes
I mean,
time
like
and does
the
this.
Pokédexes in the games have descriptions, but yes, these are very like they don't go that far. No.
That's pretty
It
good.
doesn't really look damaged. It doesn't. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's psychologically damaged. Perhaps.
Oh, it's psychological.
Like there's what it's coming from that when the DNA spliced. Let's say these guys look a little bit more together, and then you mash them up, and it's like,
kind of
it's
looks
alright.
like one of the weapons from Final Fantasy VII.
Do not look.
yeah, I could see that
Yeah.
definitely.
I'm feeling this. I know that
I'm
you
feeling
think it's old
myself.
lady, but
I said a little old.
smell
lady.
that.
I don't have much smell, but
I'm not smelling.
Is it youth dew?
Youth do. That's a
I don't
perfume.
just like it. I like
I think it's a.
it. I appreciate
Actually, I'm
that.
not sure.
You know,
The
you're
IRC
not
chat
bathed in it.
isn't
Yeah,
working
yeah,
for me, so I'm not in
Otherwise
there. I
would
don't know
be a
what's
little
up.
too overwhelming.
But
Yeah,
hello,
it freaks me
Drake
out.
Gamer
I should be
and
able to
Mark
smell it, but that's
and Murasaki and Sun Goku 420, one of my
Hi,
favorite names.
Mark.
And Caramel Kitte and David and the Aloe Wolf and Turquoise Gold Scraper and Malik Halo and Ross Sophie and ZX Billy and Who's Mav 628 and
I don't
whoever
know.
else I haven't seen in here. Thanks for joining us.
I love reading all those names and that like they're all like internet names, and then it's hello David.
Morisaki says, I've been watching the podcast for a while, but who's the guy who looks like he's a brother of RMC? That would be you, dude.
That's
Aw.
maybe the best compliment I've ever received. If only he were.
That
my
would be
real
Mom
brother.
Brain.
Dre
He
Gamer
looks like
right
brother
away
of
said
Ron
dude.
Howard.
So he's a big Duke fan.
Well,
Hello,
thank you.
Blunners. Good to see you. Yeah, like I said to you guys on the site and on Twitter, it's not like there's too much going on this week. It's been very quiet because we're in the lull after holiday
This is a
season
break-in.
and
Call
before
it like
January
holiday
hits.
Twilight, or is it Twilight before?
What?
It's the week between Christmas and New Year's that you just hide yourself in the bathroom and masturbate.
I mean, that's every week, no?
That's actually the only week I don't do that. I don't have time.
Man, I've been missing out.
He's doing it out in the open.
Hello, Ezekiel and Omar and FTL Punk. He says in all capital letters, I'm a big fan. Love the podcast and the tube channel. Well, thank you very much,
That
FTL
was
Punk.
all in caps.
Yes, it's been kind of
Tube channel.
quiet this week because there's not much going on. But I did share that one story, which I will talk about later. Risque? I don't.
What's the top news story of the day, Raw Meat?
of the day? There is none.
Oh.
Oh, you mean like the thing I've been doing?
What's today's top
Yeah,
story?
what's today's? Is that what it's called? Today's top story?
Time for today's top.
Today's big top number one story.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's just today's big.
I'm sorry,
Me
I forgot it
saying
was
today's
big
big
story.
top story isn't right.
No, you
What
said
is it
today's top story. I
What's
didn't know what
today's
you
big
meant.
top peewee?
Today's big story. Yeah, there really weren't many this week because there's not a lot
called?
going
Big
on.
story.
But I think that to myself every time I type out the title. But it's not that.
Okay.
I didn't know you're a big real world fan.
Oh, you
I
know,
love Matchbox 20.
big,
Is
reality
that the name of one of their
TV
songs?
I think it is.
Yeah, sadly it is.
So
Or is
that
it
was
the
a
Goo Goo
true
Dolls?
statement.
Maybe the Goo Goo
True
Dolls.
I don't know.
statement.
They're different bands.
Whatever.
The Goo Goo Dogs?
Goo Goo Dogs.
Matchbox 20 men on Real World?
Matchbox 420? In the Google
Oh
ones?
my God! If they rename themselves that, they'd be so popular again.
Matchbox 420 on the Google world? What's going on here?
Guys, you heard it here first.
So yeah, we'll cover what happened this week. I don't know what's going to go on with
What
this show.
did happen this week?
Well, IGN.
Can I
Again?
just for a moment?
No.
What did happen this week? Can I?
Yeah, right.
I just need to declare
Why are
that
you like?
2 years running,
Just getting handsy.
this is
Yeah,
my
right?
favorite week of the year, I think.
Why? Because he's here.
Will you
Well,
stop?
yeah, it's just like everybody's here and
Feels nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's here and everybody's
I'm
nice.
out.
Just nice.
You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we get like a week of just like, yeah. Remember last year we were like, God, it feels like we had a slumber party for like a week straight. It's great.
I know. I'm not. Yes, I agree. I don't want to say it.
Don't.
Okay. But yes, I agree with that.
Now,
So
you
I'm
don't
not gonna
call
say a
this
thing.
place the GoNintendo warehouse, do you? Is this?
I haven't. No.
Oh,
Right,
it doesn't
it's
have
not-
a name yet.
Doesn't have a name. Well, it's just
Go right ahead.
it's a dream to be here at the GoNintendo brothel.
I was gonna. I
2 years
I
in a
really
row.
thought you were gonna go with the Go Nintendo Old Zoo.
Oh man,
that would have been so
That's
much
way
I guess it would be
better.
the new zoo. Yeah.
The new zoo.
It shows me money.
Either way.
Hi, Joe. Joe says it's okay. I'm here. And hello, the dehumidifier.
Just don't
3.
unplug the heater, and then you're fine. The heater's the one closest to us.
All right. So what I was gonna say is, IGN is like, they got how many people working for them, and they can't manage to like do work during the week. So they like hold on. They do interviews.
Burn.
They do interviews all throughout the year, and then they just pluck parts out of the interview, and they're like, save this for New Year's week, save this for Christmas week, because. So now they've been like giving out little tidbits from interviews they did months ago, where they pulled out like one question and left it for discussion this week.
And that's their news story. It's like one question.
Yeah, it's literally one question.
Is it
yes.
because you know what was in the interview, or you just have an idea, or they say it's from that interview? And they
No,
just-
I've
have
covered
a
their
look
interviews with these people before, and they're not like the week of Christmas calling these people up and being like, "Hey, what's your favorite dog? Thanks a lot," and then hanging up the phone. So, for example, they talked to Nintendo's Yoshiaki Koizumi, who's like their new head honcho. I want to call him the new Miyamoto, although he's not new. He's just more prominent now. And then there's Breath of the Wild director Hidemaru Fujibayashi. And and Mr. Al Newman, of course. They talked to those people about what those teams thought of each other's games. So what did the Zelda team think of Odyssey? And what did the Odyssey team think of Breath of the Wild?
Do they ever say that they hated it? I mean, come on, no one's ever gonna say
No. Well, no, they don't say that, but they do say
Did they ever
some
say like,
interesting
I could
things.
make that if I wanted to?
Mr. Fujibayashi.
Like that crap?
Yeah, right. He'll never live that down. Mr. Fujibayashi talks about Odyssey, and he says, I think for me, the parts where you'd be able to go from 3D into 2D and go into the wall, and it becomes the old school style. I especially liked where it looks like there's nowhere to go, but then the wall curves around. It was super unique. It actually reminded me a bit of Zelda. There's the thing, there's the kind of thing that we wouldn't be able to do in a game like Breath of the Wild. It's something that only fits in the wackier Mario world. So I thought that was really cool. And Al Newman says, Mario can put so many ideas in. I'm really kind of jealous of it. Yeah, I would say Zelda's more regimented in what you can do, and Mario's just like, what's fun. Although, A Link Between Worlds had the 2D sections where you go around walls and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
And Mr. Koizumi talks about Breath of the Wild, and he says, I think my favorite part of the game was when I finally climbed the highest mountain in the land. Having worked on Zelda games myself, I always wanted to create a climbable environment, but I had to promise not to. But really, being on top of that mountain, just the place itself was very impressive. I feel drawn to the mountains. It was really nice. Yeah, Vitamin G refuses to believe that my favorite part of Breath of the Wild is being able to climb everything. He thinks I'm lying. And he's like, you just say that because you like Nintendo. And I'm like, that's really my favorite part. I love being able to see
That's all I
something
did.
and go like, I can climb right up there if I want.
I'm the
I
same
love
way. I literally every single power up I got, I put towards stamina until
that's what I
I had
did.
like 2 full stamina bars, and then
I just
then
love
I started piecing it out back and forth.
I just love like seeing a mountain or a wall and not having to think about how do I get around it. I can literally climb over it. And I like the little puzzles of, if you don't have enough stamina, you're like looking up and you're like, I could probably hang there for a
I
second.
like that
and get
about it
some
too.
back.
It's not like automatically you could just get over it. It's like, I think I could do this.
Yeah.
And there's a certain point like of no return where like, now I gotta do this.
And there's those couple of towers out in like the main Hyrule field where there's a treasure chest on the top and you don't have enough stamina to climb up there. And I'm like, God, just one more like half circle, I'll be able to get up there.
Or I would like just eat a whole bunch of like make a bunch of stamina food and eat a whole bunch like halfway up, and then it starts raining and you're like, oh God.
No.
1, 2, 3, jump and slide down. 1, 2, 3, jump and slide down. But man, you should see me playing Skyrim now after playing Breath of the Wild, because I try to climb every mountain and it's just so frustrating.
It's funny. I was thinking the same thing when I was playing it for the video review, because I was trying to get up a side of the mountain. You know, you eventually hit a point where you can't. You have to like scooch along some
it's like a weird scooch
polygon angle.
Jump, please come on.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
But
That
it's
reminds
nothing
me of
compared to
that game,
TW.
I Am Alive. You to climb
I think
buildings,
this
and you didn't
room is like the only place that remembers that game.
this person.
I remember it. I played it all the way through.
I
Did
know.
you play that?
I Am Alive.
I'm Alive.
Doesn't ring a bell.
I mean, I did not like it. It was fun. It was just, you know, they started out with such a grandiose plan for it, and then it was just like farted it out as a download game. Whatever. Yoship says, becoming a picture on the wall and going around corners wouldn't work in a Zelda game. It's like he hasn't played Link Between Worlds. Yes, that's what I said, Yoship. I agree. I have a question for you two.
Question.
What is the one aspect or one thing of Breath in the Wild that you either didn't like or would change?
Did you say Breath in the Wild?
Breath in the Wild. That's what it's called, right? Oh my God, I've been saying Breath in the Wild all this time.
Huh. I hate to say that it's a perfect game, but
I mean, if you got nothing to complain about, yeah. I know what mine would be.
I'm trying to think.
I feel like there's a cutscene or something that interrupts me when I don't want it to, or like something that takes
The blood
like
moon?
a maybe it's the blood. No, because you hear the blood and you're like, yeah.
You can just skip through it. Yeah.
I think it's probably that. I think he's right. But the thing is, you get scared when it happens.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, sugar, like, what? I know it's hard enough as it is. Last night, as I was playing the game that I will not mention until later when we're mentioning, I was playing going,
This is true,
because I was
she
so
crapped
scared.
herself.
I was so scared.
I would pick music. I want more music. I love the quietness of the field,
Yeah.
but I want more music because for me, any game, a big part of any
Oh my
game
God,
is the
the
music.
subject line of the email that I just did for music is more music. And you said more music.
And I love the music that's in that game. It's just more
I
often than
want more
not, you're
music.
not hearing
I
music.
want
And I
more
do
music.
appreciate the silence. I like that. But when I think Zelda, I think of music. But like the song that's in, I don't remember their names, The Bird. Oh, that song is so good. From when you walk in there and it's playing like the solo part, and then you get out on the wings and it adds in like the airy violins to it. Oh, it's so good. I was like, this is the best song in the game. I really love that song. But yeah, other than that, I'd leave everything else the same. That's all I want.
Last Link.
ZX Billy would choose more
Less
enemy
noise,
variety.
Zelda.
Omar says traditional
was that?
dungeons.
What was that?
And Murasaki says some of the weapons break too easily.
I think I saw on Facebook somebody said that somebody announced that the character that you play in Zelda is Zelda. Was that a joke post?
That was a joke.
Are you
Yes.
sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm kind of up on Nintendo news. I'm pretty sure.
I think they might have.
Was it
been
on Clickhole?
trolling.
Was it a Clickhole?
All right. Go easy.
Not what you meant. That was
I know what
Don't bring up
Clickhole is.
Clickhole. Dude's very sensitive. About that.
Yeah, like I said last week, I'm very interested to see what they do for the next Zelda because I have no idea where they're going to go. I kind of want them to just do something new all over again.
Tastes like anatomy. Give me more, Peter.
Okay, so Mr. Koizumi again was talked to by Toyo Kaizai Online. It's a Japanese online website that focuses on games and tech. And they talked to him about, or he talked to Koizumi about the Switch and its creation. And I said, you know,
Who is this guy? Where did he come from?
The interviewer asks him, in which part of development did you have hardships? And Koizumi says hardships is what Mom Brain calls a really bad poop.
Oh,
Like if you
okay.
walk into a public restroom and it's clear that there was a problem, Julie and I say like, "Ooh, someone's had a hardship in here."
That's pretty
I don't
good.
know how you say
Right?
this name. Adamar says he wants more Link
Polymar.
waifus in Breath of the Wild. What's the one in the
What's a waifu?
girlfriend?
Are you talking about the bug lady
No.
from Twilight Princess?
No.
Oh man,
No, in
she's-
Breath of the Wild, the one that's in I can't remember anybody's name.
Spoiler alert.
The one that's in the hut.
Paya.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yes.
Hey, you
Paya.
don't look up Rule 34. No one does that. Am I the only one who does this?
I love
Lube
Paya.
does.
I love
Lube
Paya.
used to do it
Lube
every
is
show.
all over
I
it.
think,
Yeah.
like
Alright.
sometimes
Well,
people wake up and they
text
check
Lube
their
about it.
email. People wake up
Checks
and they check
Rule
Facebook.
34. Yeah.
Lou wakes up and he checks Rule 34.
He says,
Sometimes he misses work.
at any rate,
He's
it was
kinda
the
got
battle
time for
against balance. Coming from a game software developer, there is a strong demand to make it a hardware that with simply high specs by employing good memory and GPU. Personally, as I am also a software developer, I do have the desire to do that. On the other hand, we also have to make it light and small so that it can be carried outside and also with a cool design. We need to consider the price and the lifetime of the batteries as well. Furthermore, there's a deadline in development period, and development resources in our company are also limited. The most difficult part was on how to take an overall balance while we're getting entangled with all of those in complexity. And he also says the various prototypes, and he says there are at least 5 different prototypes for the Switch, and they were talking about all the different ways they were considering using or connecting the Joy-Cons. And he says they toyed with ideas like magnets, and he says dish-shaped parts. I'm not quite sure what that means, but they decided on the rails because they felt that was the smoothest and the easiest transition. So. Hold on one second. Daniel, it's GoNintendo or it's gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. Okay.
What? Where?
gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com.
Has anyone here who has a Switch noticed any issue with the screen? Because yesterday I was playing it, and like I don't play the Switch and do this, but it looks like the bottom corner of my screen seems to be popping up.
Oh, my TV's fine.
I have seen a couple people talk about that, yeah. If it's something that worries you, just send it to Nintendo. They'll take care of it.
And they'll wipe out my hard drive like they did with the Wii, right?
They'll make sure they do.
Now they will, yeah. I mean, if you're worried about that, put a note in the box.
A note in the box.
Nintendo's one of the few companies that actually reads that stuff.
So you should leave a note of encouragement regardless.
Yes, you could do that.
Don't F this up for me.
Koizumi,
Is he going to be the one working on it?
who?
Does he work on all of them?
Koizumi?
first?
Koizumi? No, it's going to be sent to somebody here. I mean,
Reggie?
Reggie. Yes, Reggie. Reggie, we're really short on
Bill
hands
Trinan?
back
Does
here.
Bill
We
Trinan
need
do that sort of
Bill
stuff?
Trinan does not. No, I know some people that do, but I can't guarantee that they're going to be the ones that work on it. I just did a whole thing about Reggie yesterday.
I mean, there's not
Little
going to be a
known-
lot going in for repairs, right? Right? It's a solid system, right?
They say the number is less than the average for any hardware, which is 3%. So 2 or 1%.
I just sent
The
a
failure rate
DS
for any
back,
first-year hardware is 3%.
right? I just sent a DS back. There was like a known screen issue or
I
something.
don't remember what. I thought it was a hinge.
That's what it was.
Yeah, they took care of it like in the same week, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they're really good about it. I mean, if you're worried, you can call them and tell them too.
Hi,
Um,
Nintendo. This is
Hi,
Nikki
Reggie.
This is Nicholas Mountain.
Game
You want to sound adult?
Game Freak, who makes
Pokemon?
Pokemon,
Yeah.
was talking about 2018, and
That's next year, they said.
Mr. Kazumasa of Game Freak was talking about their plans for 2018. He says, "Happy New Year! In 2017, we were able to release Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and we express our deep gratitude to everyone who has been playing it. In 2018, we will continue to hype up Pokemon, so please look forward to it." So we don't know if Pokemon on the Switch is going to come out in 2018, but I believe that is the plan, and that will be, I can't even begin to imagine how much that's going to sell, because that's going to be a major milestone for the Pokemon franchise. It's going to be insane. It's the first, like, as far as we know, mainline Pokemon game to ever release on a console. They're definitely doing something special with it, and it's not like just a remake of something. And if the rumors are true, they're looking to like spice up how things work, and not just making another straightforward Pokemon game. You know, like every Pokemon game pretty much since Red and Blue they've evolved battle mechanics somewhat, certainly, but it's been, you know, same blueprint for the games, kind of like Zelda was after Ocarina of Time, at least on consoles. But they said they've been really spurred on by the success of Breath of the Wild, and Nintendo was willing to take huge risks with that. Now they're kind of like, maybe we should do that with Pokemon.
So that's going to be a big sandbox. So it's basically going to be Pokemon Go, but now you're stuck in your house on your television.
Well, it's on the Switch, so no.
Well, I don't know with Zoo's comment.
Oh, his, yes.
Yeah.
He's going to be
I assume I'm the only idiot that plays it.
But you made one mistake. He wouldn't buy a Pokemon. The Dreaming Hawk says, please no. Last time we had a Rush Pokemon game, it was Gen 6. They do not need to release a main series game every year. Taking a break to make Pokemon Switch a high-quality game would be the best idea. I'll gladly wait until 2020 for it. Well, I don't know.
Wait, they do a new one every year. Actually, they do 2, right? Because it's always like a 2-parter.
They do not do a new one every year.
Oh.
They do
a new one,
and then usually a year afterwards they'll do the revamp, and then it's like 4 or 5 years until the new one.
Okay.
They do a new one.
No, they don't do a new one every year. They do a new one, and then about a year later they do another new one.
Yeah, so what he's saying is like Pokemon Sun and Moon came out last year. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out this year. And then if Pokemon Switch comes out, that would be the 3rd year with another main
but before
Pokemon
that,
game.
it was like Silver and Gold and Red.
Which is a
Blue.
remake.
No, but those are all, I mean, all right.
Okay.
I don't even know how many. There's Platinum something.
I don't know how many Pokemon games there are, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
4 or 5, I think.
The Zelda dev team also talked about how they feel about the series timeline, because they know a lot of people think the timeline is important, and they're like, well, how does this game fit in there? Because this happens in this game, and Link can't do this, you know, whatever.
It's like an angry video game nerd hang-up.
Yeah, right.
He's always obsessed with timelines.
So they talked to, again, Mr. Al Newman and Mr. Fujibayashi about it. And Mr. Fujibayashi says, I wouldn't say that we're not concerned with the timeline. It's obviously something that we know is very important to people, and they do a lot of research on. But I think at this point, we're not really at the stage where we want to talk about where Breath of the Wild is in the timeline. I think as with the pixelated food, the dubious food in Breath of the Wild, it's something that at this point we want to leave up to people's imaginations. And Mr. Al Newman says, we published a book with the timeline, but we definitely got comments from users saying, is this really accurate? I think this should be this way. It's different.
Actually.
And history is always kind of imaginative. It's left to the person who writes the book. So that's how we approach it as well. It's not necessarily that we come up with a game and think, oh, this is where it fits in the timeline. Honestly, lately, we're kind of scared to say where things are exactly in the timeline for this reason. But we like to leave things to the imagination most of the time. So they're like, listen, we're trying to make a fun game. We don't care where it fits in the timeline. If at the end of development it makes sense for something, we're like, okay, it goes here. Otherwise, they're like, we don't care. This
is one franchise I'd never been worried about the timeline. It didn't seem relevant at all for any of them, really.
No.
Really
I'm
not.
trying to think of franchises where timeline matters to me. Mass Effect?
Yeah, right. I guess that's pretty important, Mass Effect.
Metroid, perhaps, but like, I mean, even then, it's not even that big of a deal.
It interests me, but I don't think it's super important. What's
Metal Gear Solid,
Resident Evil.
Forget it. I got no idea what's going on in Metal Gear Solid. And I don't know. Kojima's the only one that actually knows what's going on there. And now he's gone. So,
and he's confusing us with something new.
What's the goddamn game about the 2 girls, the one that can rewind time? Why can't I think of the name of it? Life is Strange. Yeah, timeline matters there, obviously, but there's not too. Hello, Santiago.
Time travel or time manipulating.
Yeah, it's kind of important. But yeah, overall, I'm not really thinking about it.
Beautiful Joe.
Yes, that's right. Timeline matters. Man, I wish they'd make a new one. Devil Rising has the top-rated comment, and he says there never was a timeline until a vocal minority of fans complained long enough until Nintendo capitulated and slapped one together for them. The Zelda timeline BS has never made sense, and I'm really not sure why some folks are so obsessed with the idea. Originally, the franchise was just a new retelling of The Legend of Zelda each entry. That's how it felt, and I was good with that. They don't need to be connected, and that's good because most of them aren't. Well, it's the internet. People like to draw connections where there aren't any. So, That's right, guys.
As long as they keep making the games good and don't, as long as the timeline thing doesn't screw
Yeah.
up the next game or anything.
Hello,
say
Steel
whatever you
Diver.
want.
I think people started worrying about time a lot when like Ocarina of Time came out, Majora's Mask came out, and they both had time elements to them. And everybody's like, well, when did this? Well, plus Majora's Mask, they officially said takes place right after Ocarina of Time because that's what happened. Link leaves there and goes to Termina, however the hell you say it.
Terminus. That's
Termina.
I didn't realize.
No one calls it Termina.
I didn't realize that Legend of Zelda ties into Walking
I don't-
Dead.
Okay.
That's crazy.
I don't get the reference.
Terminus.
What's the terminus? I've read
It's
like
the place you're supposed to get to, right?
Is it?
Did you watch Walking Dead?
Walking Dead?
I've read the 3
might have-
compendiums and I don't remember. And I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong. I
It's a
just don't
TV
remember.
show.
Might have missed a couple of seasons.
They turned it into a book after. Hello. Did I say Drew? Hello, Drew. And Steel Diver.
Turns out he's just been looking at the pictures, not even reading the words.
Here's something Nikki Hill and I were talking about this
don't
week.
drag me into this.
Nintendo unofficially. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal says they have inside information pointing to the delay of 64 gig Switch game cards. Apparently, they're delayed until 2019 due to some technical issues. And this news has disappointed some software makers. And certain publishers might hold their games back to because they want to use those game cards. Nikki Hill and I were talking about this because I think it's a bunch of BS. I don't think it matters at all because developers and publishers aren't using the big, I should say publishers. Publishers aren't using the bigger game cards now because they're cheaping out and passing the bill on to the consumer. So I don't think it matters.
Are we talking about
Oh, it does matter.
physically
because
bigger card or just holds more information?
Holds more
people think
information.
It's a big
Yes.
deal.
So right now we have the 16 gig and the 32 gig cards. And 64 gig is coming to the Switch, but this report says it's delayed until 2019. But like the developers that put out bigger games put them on 16 gig cards because those are cheaper for them, and they make people download the rest of the stuff. So
Oh, I got you. I know what you mean.
I don't think it's going to be a big factor. I don't know. Yeah, but it's a great
Yeah, but
excuse
I mean-
because EA can be like now, oh, the game cards. That's why we're not. Those rats. Those rat bastards. So yeah, like I said, it's not official. It's from the Wall Street Journal. I don't know, but it's not like indie devs need 64 gigs or anything like that. When you're talking about like games on PS4 and Xbox One, we're talking about like uncompressed textures and massive amounts of storage. So that's why that's there. And then when you put them on Switch, you compress things. So Steel Diver says the 2 sports games came on 8 gig cards. There's some great proof.
Now we're talking, and again, I know I said I understood, but I don't know if I do. So we're talking the game that I actually buy that comes out of the case, and this is the game, and I pop it in to play the game. That's how big the gig. Like if it's a bigger gig, I don't have to download as much onto the
Yes.
hard drive of
Yes.
the Switch. Okay, so we are talking about the game cards. Anybody else think they're using way too much plastic for those darn cases?
Well, yeah. Did I talk to you about this or you about this? They do ridiculous amounts of testing with consumers and show them multiple boxes. And they say which one is most appealing to you. How do you feel about the product? And don't tell them what's going in it. Nothing about that. And then it comes back. People see smaller boxes as inferior products. So the sweet spot. It's why the Vita has boxes that are almost exactly the same size because that's what consumer marketing and testing went to.
They really
Man,
should
that's
stop
a shame.
talking to these people.
It's crazy, right? It should come in like a micro or like an SD card case. Yeah. Plus, I know they're worried some people will lose crap, but yes, people want like a bigger box on the shelf. So yes, I agree. It's dumb.
People think that because it's bigger, it's better.
Yeah.
It's a status symbol.
Totodile says they wouldn't use them anyway. I agree.
You should put like a Mercedes symbol on it too, or something.
They should like bedazzle them
Oh, now you're talking.
with
Nice.
diamonds.
Pink.
Okay. So Splatoon on the Wii U was a very big game, very big success. And
Great
it's
success.
one of the reasons why the Wii U got to the 13.3 million units sold, because Splatoon moved a decent amount of Wii U's in Japan. So I'm very happy to share the news that Splatoon 2 has already outsold the total lifetime sales of Splatoon in Japan. And Japan is not by far, but Japan is the largest market for Splatoon, followed by America followed by Europe. So Splatoon sold 1.5 million units in its lifetime, and Splatoon 2 has already sold 1.6 million units. And Splatoon 2 came out in July, I want to say. So it did it in an insane amount of time. Like, it goes to show how much better the Switch is doing. It's crazy. And then on top of that, we got the confirmation of what we thought was going to happen last week. It did now officially happen. We thought the Switch was going to outsell the pace of the PS2's first year in Japan, and it blew it away this week. Last week, the Switch was at like 2.9 something million units, and as of this week, the Switch has now sold in Japan 3.2 million units. It moved over.
This is a big week too, right?
Yeah,
well, I guess it's not. It's a big week to get one, but it's not a big week to buy one.
Oh, this week now?
Well, I guess this
No.
week with your gift cards and stuff, though, like the mall.
They'll
is
still see a bump for the end of
crazy.
December, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Japan, 150,000 units in a single week, which is crazy. So now, yeah, that means the PS2 at the end of December was at 3 million units, and now the Switch at the end of December is at 3.2 million units. So as long as it keeps up that pace.
When did the PlayStation 2 come out? When did it launch? January?
No,
March?
this is same March for March, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this is the exact same time frame.
Is that why they launched
The 3
in
million,
March?
though, the 3 million was at the end of December, and Switch was at 2.9 million last week, so it beat it before we even got to the end of the month. What?
I don't remember. Good.
Oh, they launched it in March because they need to get rid of the Wii U. Like, they couldn't wait until Christmas or any holiday season. They just had
couldn't
to go
give
with
those
it.
things away.
They couldn't, so yeah, they're just like, we've pushed people far enough. We have to get this out there.
They didn't even try to give it away. I would have taken one. No, but I bought one like a jerk.
Like a sucker.
Hello, David Tapia. I think that's a different David. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe also set a record, or not set a record, but hit a milestone in Japan. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has now sold over 1 million units in Japan alone. It's at 1,045,000, and that does not include digital sales. And like I said, that the craziest thing about that is it's not like a new game. It's just a slightly revamped version of Mario Kart 8, and it broke 1 million units.
Yeah,
so,
but when you have that many Switches out, and people are like, I need
yeah, that's a
something to play on.
third of Switch owners in Japan have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Did you see the? There's a video I saw somebody put on Facebook or something. I don't know if it's true. It's Facebook, but it was Mario Kart virtual reality.
It is true.
He
Yes,
has it up and running on virtual
it is the
reality.
real deal. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Bandai Namco partnered with Nintendo to do a Mario Kart virtual reality like experience in Japan in one of their arcades. So yeah, you sit down in a cart and put on the visor and like you use your hands to grab items and throw them at people and everything. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Wow,
It looks
that's
really cool. Yes, that is real. I don't know if they're going to release it any other way than that, but Vin Loria says it's depressing how little love the Wii U got. It's been a year and I still haven't gotten over how badly everyone treated the poor thing. Yeah, it was messaging right from the beginning, like which is what we were talking about with the Xbox One. Messaging right from the beginning really screwed them over. So Nintendo learned their lesson this time around.
Messaging,
Messaging.
like friend to friend messaging,
Like instant messaging.
You know what we're talking about, right?
brand messaging.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's stores that still think the Wii U is an add-on to the Wii. Like there was a Best
Oh, yeah,
Buy
but
flyer
there's
not that long ago that
A Best
said
Buy
that
flyer.
thing. Best Buy flyer.
Best Buy.
Best Buy.
These people don't know what they're selling in their stores.
Best Buy.
That surprises you.
Best Buy.
Yeah, right.
Best Buy.
Nintendo's president hopes that the Switch is going to sell 20 million units in fiscal year 2018. So fiscal year 2018
Year.
will go from March 2018 to March 2019. So that's some lofty goals because this year we had real heavy hitters. Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild, sprinkled
the
other
Wild.
things in there. Breath
And there's
in the Wild.
nothing in 2018's pipeline.
Oh, yeah, there's stuff. But, you know, if you're talking about Nintendo's top-tier franchises, Zelda, Mario are at the top.
Yeah, but
What we
still
have
don't
in
know what
2018
Retro's working on.
Yes, that's the thing. In January, I would bet everything I have that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct because they want to finish out the year, let the games that came out late in the year get their time, like Xenoblade Chronicles 2. January's going to hit, and they're going to be like, all right, here's what's going on for the next 6 months. That's usually what Nintendo does. And there's been developers that have already been saying our stuff is coming in January and February. So there's stuff lined up. But yeah, then on top of that, there are things that we know Nintendo's doing. Definitely in 2018. They have Kirby, which always sells over 1 million units. They have that new Yoshi game. Yeah, I know. It looks really good. They have Metroid Prime 4.
Buy that and put it on a shelf.
Metroid Prime 4
years.
will hopefully make end of year. I see that as being their big holiday game. We don't know what Next Level's doing. We don't know what Retro's been doing, which has been forever.
Wait,
like we don't know.
Next Level. That's the
Luigi's Mansion, Mario's Superstars, Mario's Soccer, whatever it's called, Strikers.
Level 5 is late.
No.
Did Luigi's Mansion on the portable do well enough that to warrant?
Definitely,
a
yeah.
Switch
It's in the
version?
top 10 best-selling games on the 3DS, or top 15.
Sweet.
I know. I'm almost positive that's what they're doing. I'm pretty sure. That's not like I heard from somebody. But it makes too much sense, especially for like the people that they've been hiring and everything like that. But even more interesting is Retro, because their last game was Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which was fantastic, but that was a while ago, and they are purposefully being very quiet about Retro, and they made a point to say Retro's not doing Metroid Prime 4, so I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing something. So plus you have to wonder if they're going to do Smash Brothers, if they're going to do like a revamp of Wii U and 3DS and add in more characters to that, or kill Sakurai and make him do a brand new one again. But yeah, Nintendo's made it very clear that they have some interesting things coming up. They're just not talking about them yet because they don't want their games to be overshadowed by projects that aren't even out yet. They said we announced Metroid Prime 4 because it's been so long, and we know people were wondering what's going on with Metroid.
But we're not really making it.
But they said we just want you to know it is happening. The rumor is they're working with Bandai Namco on it, which would be great because Bandai Namco is a great partner for them. So I would be excited about that. Yeah. They work with Bandai Namco on a lot of stuff. Bandai Namco worked on Smash Brothers.
So, Metroid Prime 4 starring Pac-Man.
I wouldn't say that they wouldn't put an Easter egg in there. I'm sure they would.
arch nemesis, Pac-Man.
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 Yeah, I mean, that's it. If they are working with them, I would be really excited about that because I feel like Bandai Namco and Nintendo are very similar in their philosophies with game development.
Weren't there like little balls of light in like an original Metroid that you collect?
I mean, all the bombs that Samus poops could look like Pac-Man pellets. So.
That's what it is. Yes.
I mean, the lore's there. We could make this canon. But yeah, I don't know what Retro's officially doing. Man, I thought for sure we were going to find out last year, but I don't know.
You mean
last year being this
year? Sorry, yeah, sorry.
Another day.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Like they've had original ideas that were shelved or canned, and you know, back before they worked on Donkey Kong Country Returns, Nintendo really trusts Retro, and Retro's like, we've done what we want to do with Metroid, and they were like, okay, what do you want to work on? And they're like, oh, how about Donkey Kong? And they're like, all right, go do what you want with Donkey Kong. Man, Retro's an amazing company because I was super worried. Well, I was worried when they did Metroid in first person. I was like, I don't know if that's going to work, and it turned out great.
Yeah.
And then they did Donkey Kong Country, and it was going to be like old school Donkey Kong Country, and I was like, I don't know. Like, it's such a different game from Metroid, like completely different. And they nailed it. They did an awesome job of both those games. I've been tempted lately to hook up my Wii U just to replay Tropical Freeze again because I really love that game. But I don't know what they're doing. I think they're capable of working on any Nintendo franchise. And to a lesser degree, I think that's true of Next Level as well. I've liked everything that Next Level did as far as their projects on Nintendo's properties. Like Pilot Wings. I really liked Pilot Wings on the 3DS. I know Pilot Wings isn't a big franchise, and it will never be. Oh, you know what else we know is going on? The next Pikmin. That's another one.
I was going to ask about that, but I didn't want to sound silly because I think I missed the last. Didn't one come out
on Wii U?
There's like a 3 or something.
Yeah, it was great because you could play with the gamepad, or you could play with Wiimote and Nunchuck and the gamepad. Like, so you could set up the gamepad as your map to see where everybody is in the level, and then use Wiimote and Nunchuck. Like Wiimote and Nunchuck to use to pick up Pikmin and move them away is perfect. Like I feel that's the way the game should be played. The Pikmin 3 was awesome. Yeah, it was really, really
I
good.
remember playing the redone version of the original
New play
2
control,
with the new controller, and it was great. It was better with the new controller.
Yeah, I would like to see them re-release Pikmin 3 because A, it was on the Wii U and not a lot of people played it, and B, Pikmin has never been one of their bigger franchises. It has a niche following, but I know Miyamoto really believes in it, and I love those games.
And then there was Hey Pikmin, but that was on the 3DS.
That's on a 3DS, yeah. And I really like that game, but I know I'm on the other side of the fence with that one. But yeah, Miyamoto said a long time ago that Pikmin 4 was essentially done, and then everything went quiet mysteriously. So
he upended a coffee table.
It probably did, yeah. Level 5, who works on games like Professor
that
Layton.
coffee table was a glass of water, and it fell on the computer or hard drive or whatever.
Starting over. Level 5, who works on Professor Layton and Inazuma 11 and Yokai Watch and all that jazz, said that they are switching over to Switch development in 2018. That is their main goal. So they've always been a big supporter of Nintendo. It's not surprising to see them move over to the Switch because they've done pretty much what you can do with the 3DS. They've been a great supporter of the 3DS, and they just put out another Yokai game in Japan. But, 3DS is getting towards the end of its life, so they're moving over to Switch. They didn't specifically say what they're doing, but their CEO did say, our main focus for 2018 is Switch. So maybe a Professor Layton, maybe an Inazuma. Oh, there's an Inazuma 11 game coming out. I don't know if it'll come here. It's soccer, just so. For people that don't know.
I thought that was like a guy who develops games.
No, Inazuma 11 is the name of a soccer series they have.
So Inazuma 11 is kind of like
Suda 54.
Rocket League, but with people.
Oh, I got you.
Suda 34.
Rule 34. Oh, man. That's another game coming out this year. No More Hero. Or, I'm sorry. Travis Strikes Again. No More Heroes.
Yeah. God.
Is that coming out this year?
Oh, yeah.
Sure?
That's no, 2018.
I have to get into a mindset to play those games. They
January?
are out there.
Not January.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You watched the trailer for it.
I did.
Yeah, because and I showed you that Gene was in it. I knew
I
you were worried about
I thought
Gene.
I said
was
that
worried
Gene
about
was in
Gene.
it.
Oh, that's right. You asked about Gene. And then you said there he is he's sitting on the trailer or something.
As long as
Isn't Gene a she?
I don't know.
It's gotta
Is
be.
it Gene with a J or Gene with a G?
Oh,
With a J.
So, yeah.
I think it's the way that the Smith song is spelled.
Well, that would make sense. He's a
Yeah.
big Smiths fan.
That's
Who
where the title
isn't?
came from.
I just hope he saves on the toilet again.
I actually just ate a Morrissey pretty recently at Subbase.
Oh, how are those?
Delicious.
Wait, what's a Morrissey?
It's a vegetarian.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
mozzarella.
It's just
which
a
also
rose
works
with
'cause
thorns.
it's like-
That's what I was thinking. That's
They could've just
exactly
called
what I
it
pictured.
Moz.
Um,
For
also,
mozzarella.
level 5
I get it.
CEO said that he's a big fan of the Switch
good.
personally, and Breath of the Wild was the game that impressed him the most in 2017. And he says, I'm a business guy. I got a lot of meetings that I go to all over the place, and I brought my Switch with
That's
me
what
everywhere.
business guys say. I'm a business guy. I go to meetings all over the place.
And I go with my briefcase full of papers, business
You know,
papers.
real professional one. Wobble Bobble says, that's great news. They're awesome, and the Switch is the perfect fit for their stuff. Layton Collection alone could clean up. I mean, yeah.
Are they doing I'm sorry, I missed that. Is he just suggesting that it would be cool to see a
He's
lady
suggesting. What was the last Layton game you played? I'm sure you've missed
Curious
quite a
Village?
few. Oh, so all of them except the first one.
Oh, I only played one of them. And
There's
boy,
one
was
on
that
your
frustrating.
there's one on your phone right now.
Is
But
it's his granddaughter or something. I'm cool with that. As long
okay.
as I don't have to deal with that little
Spoiler alert.
baby.
I'm not saying anything and no.
But it's not Lane that's like a girl. Right?
Lady Layton.
Well, it's not the Professor Layton, it's like a
She
lady.
could be a professor.
No, I can't spoil. I don't want to spoil things, but no, it's not Professor Layton, alternate universe. I'm a woman.
It's Katrina.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant you play as a woman this time, right?
Yes.
Or like a girl.
Yeah.
Girl or woman.
Girl, I would say.
So who's the little boy? Who is the little boy?
Luke.
She's not
Now,
a girl,
he's not in it,
but
is
not
he?
yet a woman.
Well, if
That's
it's all right,
beautiful.
well, I guess he's in it.
So
if
it
it's not
turns
saying
out-
anything.
I hate Luke.
That Luke
Well,
has
me too, because I don't want him in it.
I like this game.
Okay, cool. Go.
Now you're picking up on
All
it.
right, all right.
All right, you killed Luke. There you go.
So wait, did Luke
Venus
get an
Beach.
operation?
What?
Did he get an operation?
And he's Lady Layton now? Whatever.
He's
Catriel?
Catriel?
No.
I'm sure it's not free on the phone.
It is not. No, it's not free.
Is
It's
it
not.
more than 99 cents?
You have the two options. phone version with microtransactions to get all the content. 3DS version, one price, all the content.
Okay.
But
Or
the 3DS one's more expensive.
you can
obviously.
do this here puzzle and get it for free. I'm just joking. That's how the game is. You know.
So is
Come
the
on.
music still good?
Yeah, I mean,
the music
all
was,
that stuff's good. The animation, the music.
to be honest, the animation and the music were the only reason I played it. The puzzles were so frustrating.
Well, then you should watch the movie because that's all you get is the fantastic
really?
music and
is,
the animation.
And is the Professor Layton in it?
Yes,
Yay!
but Luke is in it as well. So
How much?
I don't remember, so I guess it couldn't have been too. I mean, you know, he's running around with them. As long as he's not talking, I'm okay.
As long as he keeps his mouth shut.
North America, this week's downloads. What do we get? SteamWorld Heist Ultimate Edition, like I was saying last weekend. It is now available on the Switch. So if you missed out on it on all the other platforms under the sun that it was on, you can now get it on Switch. And this version is the Ultimate Edition, like I said. So it includes the Outsider campaign and features a mysterious ally and a shipload of new weapons, upgrades, hats, and missions. Great game. Can't recommend it enough. Style Savvy Styling Star is available right now on the 3DS. And there's a free demo. So if you don't know if that kind of game is for you, hello, I'm an F&T Rex, and hello, Samuel. I know some people are a little nervous about playing a game about designing fashion and stuff like that, but the games are great. Like they're all talking to Nintendo about them because he is big into them, and I think he gave the most recent one a perfect score. But if you follow the series, you know what it's about.
Fire that guy.
Also new this week is a demo version of Mighty Gun Volt Burst. That's on the 3DS and the Switch. Again,
Disney's Mighty Gun Bolt! Something like that. You guys still
Disney's
do that?
Bolt! Again, I cannot stress this enough. If you like traditional Mega Man, you need to get Mighty Gun Volt Burst. It's made by the team who made Mega Man 9, Mega Man 10, Mega Man ZX, Mega Man ZX, or Mega Man, what was it? What were the GBA ones? Zero.
Oh, yeah.
Mega Man 0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Just Mighty Gunvolt? Or
Azure Striker Gunvolt is another game, but there was just Mighty Gunvolt, yes.
I like
which
Mighty
Kirby,
Gunvolt a lot better than Azure Striker Gunvolt.
but Kirby pointed out,
You know, if his
Azure
name was,
Striker is
if
like
he had a
the
different
bomb.
name, it needs to be like a Zelda thing. Like he needs a different name, and then in subtitles it would say like the Azure Striker or something like that.
That might be.
And he like, you know,
What if you,
Frank Blue,
Like
the Azure Striker.
Azure is just such an awkward word to say.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
what if you only liked Mega Man 2?
Hmm.
Just keep it at that, probably.
No,
you didn't like Mega Man 9 or 10?
I liked them. They were tough.
yeah, no. I mean, these guys get what Mega Man is. So if you like any Mega Man game, like in the traditional line, I feel you would like this. They don't overcomplicate things, and so in Mega Man games, you defeat a robot master, you get that robot master's power.
I recall.
And they do something in this game that's really interesting. When you defeat a boss,
You eat his heart.
you eat his heart, like physically.
That was good, guys. That was actually really good.
You get the option to take his weapon or take a whole bunch
His
of
wife.
points, and you use these points to customize.
Prima doctor.
You use these points to customize your main weapon, and the level of customization is insane. You can do like I
Customization?
can
I
shoot
think
4
that's
shots
right.
at once. I can sorry, what is level of customize?
You said customation.
Oh, it's called that in this game.
Oh, of course.
You guys don't know
Because it's the future.
So you can change like how many shots you shoot at once. You can change how they move when they come out of your gun, so you can make them like go upwards or downwards. You can change how fast they come out. You can make it go so like they shoot out really fast and then slow down the further they get out. You can make them bigger or smaller. You can make them electrify people, like all different kinds of stuff. And you just basically have points. So it's like to make your shot curve upwards, you gotta put these 50 points here, and you can pull and plug all the time. It's not like if you spend it, it's gone forever.
That's like
So you find what works for
Steamroll
you, and you can change it on the fly. So if a boss jumps around a lot and is hanging on a ceiling, you can swap out the chips for points that make your weapon shoot upwards, and you can just stand on the ground and take them out that way. It's really cool, but otherwise it's just like Mega Man, like 8 stages, bosses at the end. Fight all the bosses again later.
Is there a version of like Dr. Wowie?
Yeah, yes, there is. I had to think about it. It's on Switch. I could show it to you later. It's really cool. I can't. Everything that Inti Creates is doing for the Switch has been so good if you're into retro games. They have Blaster Master Zero, which is really awesome. Really cool. It's the first Blaster Master sequel that I actually like, and there's been 3 of them? I think there's been 3 of them. Louder! I really like this one. What else did Inti Creates do for Switch? I'm forgetting. Oh, it's terrible.
I don't run a Nintendo News.
Oh, the Azure Striker series. I got it.
Check and mate. Bringing it back.
Oh.
Wait,
Was that
Kelly
just
asks you
that?
to find
Was
something
that
on
just you
television
giving me?
later.
Oh man.
Was that just you
It's
giving
been
me a
real
thumbs
deep.
down, or was
That's
that
when
a
it gets
reference
ugly.
to Miyamoto as well?
Yeah, that's what it was.
From his Tonight
That's
Show
what's in it.
appearance, where like, Jimmy Fallon is like, how'd I do playing whatever game he's playing? And Miyamoto's sitting in the audience, and Miyamoto's like,
No.
I
Darn it. I don't like that game.
Also available on Switch is the King of Fighters 96, which is the Neo Geo game. Arcade Archives versus Super Mario Brothers, the arcade version of Super Mario Brothers. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli is available, and Woodle Tree
Sounds like
Adventures.
your kind of game there, Nikki Hill.
I might check it out.
No joke, I've heard lots of good things about it. First call comes from WestFX, and he says, crazy that 5 Switch games this week seems like a low number. Yeah, my wallet is thankful. Yeah, I think they're giving people a little time to be like, hey, take a look at the 60 other games we released the last couple of weeks.
They need to update their website, though. It doesn't say Switch on it.
Who? What website?
Guns, Gore, and Cannoli says Steam, Windows, Apple, Xbox One, and PS4.
Europe got SteamWorld Heist Ultimate Edition. They also got a demo for Mighty Gun Volt Burst. Energy Cycle is on Switch. Sparkle Unleashed, which is basically a Zuma clone, is available.
Zumba?
Did I say Zuma? Zuma.
Oh.
The King of Fighters 96 is on there. Mecho Tales is on there as well. Stickbold, a dodgeball adventure deluxe, is on Switch.
Those guys want to play Stickball?
Yeah. Dragon Fang Z, The Rose and Dungeon of Time, which is a old school dungeon crawler type of game. That's on Switch. Tactical Mind is on Switch as well, which I have no idea what it is. 3DS got Mighty Gun Volt Burst, including DLC. 3DS Theme Shop. Mom Brain, it's happening!
Don't shake my arm.
Hello Kitty, hidden by quotes.
Wow.
Hello Kitty plays with quotes and
Hello
lines.
Kitty end quotes. I mean,
Hello Kitty
come on.
between Giant Flowers theme. Hello Kitty plays with huge and giant flowers.
Is that like a euphemism?
Hello Kitty is sleeping theme. Hello Kitty is sleeping with her friends in the middle of nature. Hello Kitty super pop style theme. Hello Kitty pop and street style. That's all it says. That's all I got for
Kitty Catterbait.
Tokidoki's Donatella and Sweet Friends theme. This theme features Tokidoki's Donatella and her sweet friends in their sweet colony on planet Earth. Europe's a weird place, man. Tokidoki's Under the Sea theme and Tokidoki's Unicorno Starry Sky.
Man.
Shoot, that sounds great.
This theme features Tokidoki's Unicornos as they gallivant amongst the starry skies.
That's like dreams that I have.
Wow.
You
Come a long way
gallivant
from-
from the stars in your dreams.
I thought it was going to be dumb. Hello, Blake, but I was wrong. It sounds great. Low Camp says, Happy New Year, podcast crew. Hopefully I can catch one of the next ones live. Well, I hope you're watching live right now, but I don't think you are. Okay. Oh, my dear Lord. I'm not doing this. What time are we at? I'll read you the real important
Can I say
tidbit
that
from
at
this. Nintendo's president, Tatsumi Kimishima, talked about a whole bunch of things. He talks about how well the Switch is selling. He talks about he talks about Switch supply, the Switch becoming a hit. He talks about the type of people that are playing on Switch. If households are going to be more than one Switch unit per person in the house. He talks about just games in general. Then he talks about other forms of entertainment on the Switch, like Netflix and all that crap. We know Hulu's on there now. He also discusses Nintendo's stance on VR and AR, mobile games and all that stuff. He talks about working with DNA on mobile games. He talks about how Nintendo's been branching out with their IPs, and it's been really working for them for other merchandise, which is something they traditionally didn't do. Like they had to deal with Uniqlo.
Yes, Uniqlo.
The clothing store.
and Vans, and he said both those collaborations went really well and sold out.
Why did you look around when you said
Because
that?
I say Uniqlo.
Is that not it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've
Either.
just always said Uniqlo.
Their clothes are all right, but they wouldn't fit large people like us.
They don't fit me, no.
Can I have a question?
Mhm.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, one question.
Is it just
Ryan.
the press release? I'm sure you're not changing it, but the press release for the European downloads have prices. The American,
Yes.
the US downloads do
I don't
not
know to
have
tell you the truth
prices.
because Nintendo is the one that posts them. I don't. He's
He's messing with us,
he's a hard worker. He might go in there and put the prices in. I'm not sure.
but he doesn't do it for American releases.
I do the American ones.
And you don't do that. Okay.
I don't change what's in the press release now. They also talk about Super Nintendo World, which is the theme park that's coming to Japan and North America in both California
when-
and Florida.
When is that?
2019. Oh man, I'm
It's
gonna
gonna
die.
be
I'm gonna
sweet.
walk in. I'm gonna die. It's gonna be like a dream come true. Not dying.
You're not
but
going to go at launch, are you? Like when it
I
opens?
would really want to.
Maybe if they do like a soft open, like what we got to experience.
Maybe I don't
California.
know. I don't know.
If
was
they do a
great.
soft open where like basically
You think
we,
you'd be invited?
we went to the
now?
Harry Potter
Maybe.
world in California. I was there for work, and then I took Dew, or we went together.
It's funny because
And,
we were just talking about this today.
And
Yeah.
they only opened the Harry Potter section for
Yeah.
a limited time each day, so that they could test the rides, the lines, the people working there got a good feel of like how crowded it'll get and everything.
The only
And it really wasn't that bad. Like for us, it was pretty
amazing.
the
manageable.
only thing I don't. The only reason
Magical
why I
and
don't.
manageable.
The only reason I don't think they do a soft launch is because they want to make sure they have everything ready to go before Disney has their Star Wars park open.
Yeah, but the thing is they can
It's gonna
open
be
it
a
up and
Star
they have
Wars
problems. You know?
It's awesome.
I would just think that the soft launch like
be a
that
kid
is essential to the functioning of the the park.
Yeah.
I thought the
Oh,
Universal
oh.
Japan.
Wow.
What is it?
Yes.
Japanese Universal Studios.
No, you're right. Universal Studios Japan.
Was opening first though.
Yeah, I was talking about hours, but I think they're all 2019. Like I don't think
Really?
they're.
I thought the
Well, let's put it this
the one
way.
in Japan I thought was 2019. And the other one was going to come like a year or two later.
No. Let's put it this way. They broke ground in Japan and in Florida. I'm not sure about the California side of things, but they're already like the walls are up. They're already building stuff. So we just
You want
don't
me to send my
officially know
mom?
what they're doing. We have the
Some patents. and
patents that
ideas.
they put out, which show like a Mario Kart ride, which would be like Universal style Mario Kart ride. So it's like a
3D.
3D screen, but a moving thing, kind of like what you were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
They also have
the
a
Harry Potter
traditional
ones are amazing.
a traditional roller coaster, but Donkey Kong style, like one of those mine cart ones, which would be
I
awesome.
remember. I was just talking.
But apparently they had they have a
About
special rig set up where the cart
sideways.
is connected on a track underneath that you don't see.
Right.
And it looks like it looks like your cart is sitting on a different track because in Donkey Kong there's a whole bunch of jumps where the track falls apart. So it looks like your cart's going to fall and your cart jumps through the air and stuff
Yeah.
like that. It looks
I was
so
just telling.
cool.
I was just telling my father-in-law about that because my wife's brother, sister-in-law, and nephew they were going to take him to Universal and Disney this year.
Mhm.
I was like, oh,
Big things are coming.
Yeah. So I was explaining just that because they've always done Disney, but they've never done Universal, and Universal's rides are so drastically different. And
Yeah.
the Harry Potter ride that you went on is still one of my favorite rides ever.
Man, how
it's
many times did we ride that? Like at least 10.
yeah.
It was incredible.
And then I went to Universal in Florida with the stranger, and we went on that a ton of times.
It's the same rides. Like
It's it's the exact same ride. It's just the one in California is 3D as well.
I was just telling Dew that the first time I went on that ride, I threw
You
up
had
in my
sick.
mouth.
Yeah,
Mm.
That's the best part.
it was magical.
Now here's the part I'm actually going to break down. They talk about plans for the next console, and their president says Nintendo started thinking about it, which is not a surprise because they always do that the day after the last system launch. So they say consumer preferences always change, and technology also continues to evolve. So they're thinking about what they need to include and what technology is going to be there and still useful at the end of development. They say if Nintendo has already decided right now on how the next game console would look or would be like, they would no longer be able to take action because by the time they actually put it out, it could be obsolete. So, and they also say Nintendo needs to think about the release timing in a flexible way. So they're like, let's look at this tech. This tech seems like it's going to really take off in a few years. So when we're going to put out the successor to the Switch, we want to have that in there, but we could put it out sometime in this year, or maybe early the next year. You know, it's a whole balancing act, and it's hard to gauge like what's going to be popular or viable a few years down the road. So, I mean, look at the Wii. The Wii really hit like at the perfect time because we hadn't really seen anything like that, and now everybody's phones and all that stuff have that same accelerometer technology in it, or versions of it anyway.
Which they stole from that other company.
They lost their appeal today, or this week, but they still have one more chance. So it's not like it's a big settlement. Like the judge said, it was like 15 million. So it's like the drop in the bucket for Nintendo.
15 million.
I mean, for Nintendo, originally it was going to be $100 million,
just
and you'd
throw
be
that
like,
in a
"Oh,
tip
that's
jar."
that's a tasty morsel."
I'm sorry if you mentioned. Did you mention the mobile stuff over there?
I just said they talk about mobile. I didn't say any specifics.
That was interesting because in here it says like that they're still. I mean, they're still close with DNA and they're still working hard with them, but they're. In this, it doesn't say, but they're looking at other mobile people.
Yeah, well, their official partnership with DNA is for 5 games, so.
But didn't they come up short on what they were trying to do? Like that's why I read an article.
Well, their plan with mobile games when they really went for it was trying a whole bunch of different things and seeing what works. Because like between all the games that they've released, they've taken different approaches with every single one. Miitomo is just here's Miitomo. Animal Crossing is more traditional microtransactions. Fire Emblem started off with not as much content. Now they update it every single day with stuff. And Super Mario Run is unlike any of the other ones because it's get some of it free, pay a one-time fee, and there's no extra microtransactions. So yeah, they're just doing different things. Right now, the ones working best for them are Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing. So more traditional, because that's what people on mobile are used to.
They had a certain goal that they wanted to hit in 1 year, and they came up short. So they were looking to maybe reach out to other companies to bump up production of more games.
Well, with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, they scrapped development like pretty close to finish and just started fresh, like started over again. Because it's new to them, so they want to make sure they get something out there they're comfortable with. But like we have a Zelda game to look forward to on mobile, and I have no idea what that's going to be like. They could work with another. I don't know if they're doing it with DNA. Maybe they are. But
it's going to be like Flappy Bird, but with Link.
I mean, that's what we all want. He'll be on his loft wing, and you tap.
They spared no expense on this one.
Blake says the Switch is a bit awkward to fit in with multiple consoles in a house. The kiddos would bicker about who gets to use the dock, who gets to play copies of games, and if one person takes theirs while the other kids stay, which games they can bring with them. I won't
have kids.
I wouldn't want to deal with that. You were just saying
I've got 4 Switches,
your friend,
no kids.
Their family brought their Switch with them.
Oh yeah.
On their trip.
Drive.
We did.
Before you go on to the next story,
yeah, sure.
I wanted to ask you this about the theme parks, but we moved quickly. If for whatever reason they built it in Japan only first,
would I go?
Would that finally get you to Japan?
It'd be a big motivator.
So no. Only, I guess, if it weren't.
I've had opportunities to go to Japan, but I can't because of work. Like it'd be a week away.
The opportunities are for work as well.
Yeah, but I still have to do regular work. I can't be like, see you next week, guys. I'm going to Japan
for you.
I was just curious,
we'll go.
If
you guys go, tell me how it is. Yeah, I would want to go.
Oh, yeah, of course you'd want to.
A lot. Like I was watching the groundbreaking ceremony for it, and I'm like, man, this is gonna be so cool. I can't wait till this is open. But yeah, it's 2019. We got a whole nother year in there. I'll just say very quickly, Nintendo's talking about potentially doing more accessories and different types of controllers for the Switch. So other controllers that you can slot on there, maybe specific peripherals for different games. I don't know what, but they are open to the idea. And also they're talking about different colors for Joy-Cons as well. So if there's a color you want, I'm sure they're going to release it. They just, they're more worried about getting the system itself out there before they're worried about, let's do, I don't know, snake skin Joy-Con. I got no idea.
They would never do snake skin. They're going to do that clear, that ugly clear.
You can get one now. Not from them, but you can get one now, yeah.
Ooh.
It's
Even
clear with
uglier.
like a purple tint, like the old N64 option.
You know what? As much as I'm not even gonna preface this with anything. I want them to do ones that match the Pro controller. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, and
We're talking about the Joy-Cons,
yeah,
right?
yeah. What do you mean? That style design?
No, just like that. Whatever the
Oh yeah, I got you. I mean, I don't.
whatever that like see-through black is.
Yeah, I do like that. You're right.
That'd be cool.
I mean, but
Do it, Nintendo.
even if
Please.
Nintendo doesn't do it, there are third-party options out there. If you're brave enough to take your Joy-Con shells off, which I am.
I'm not either.
The Switch is officially outsold the Wii U's
Come on, guys,
total.
Mad Cats.
The Switch is officially
I take back what I
outsold
said.
the Wii U's total install base in Japan. So, congratulations. Yeah, I know. Trust me, I know. So the Switch is at 3.3 million units in Japan, and it has beat out the Wii U's total lifespan. So in 9 months, the Switch beat out what the Wii U did in 4.5, 5 years. And again, shows you how poorly the Wii U did and how well the Switch is doing. First comment comes from
Who's walking?
SoCar. They say this was already obvious and proves that marketing plays a vital role when selling anything. The Wii U's marketing was the main reason why it didn't do so well, and Nintendo learned from this and did better marketing for the Switch. They certainly nailed the marketing for the Switch. That is without a doubt.
And the name goes in with the. Does that count as marketing too? Because I mean,
Yeah.
Wii U is bad name.
It is a bad name. Yeah, I remember.
And the Wii.
I
was
believe
also a bad
the
name.
Wii was a bad name, yes, but it just
Works.
works.
It works, but
Um,
in hindsight. But.
I remember sitting in the audience when they revealed the Wii U, and like they finished showing the trailer and they showed the name Wii U, and I am almost positive there's footage of me watching it, and I'm like, yeah, this system looks cool, and then they showed the name, and I was like, oh, like I remember either there's footage or I took a picture of myself right after because I was like, I don't know about that name. I think that's going to cause some trouble, and it did.
That's right.
GBH Insights has said that the Switch has sold 15 million units worldwide, which would be pretty crazy because as of December, what was it, 11th? December 12th, Nintendo updated and said the system was at 10 million units sold. So the holiday season is obviously very big. But if December 12th they sold 10 million units and December 29th they sold 15 million units, I mean, I really feel like 2.5 million units in the month of December worldwide is more believable. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. These are, guys that do this research all year long, so maybe they're right. I don't know. First comment comes from Alley Cat, and he says, I doubt it moved that many in 2 weeks. However, the Switch is not a one console per household unit, so it is probably. I don't know. Yeah, I could go either way. Just 5 million is a lot for 2 weeks. But then again, we don't know Nintendo. When Nintendo said it moved 10 million units on December 12th, but we don't know when it actually hit that 10 million. Did it hit it at the beginning of December? Did they put out the press release like somebody was waiting for the counter to cross over and they're like, all right, put the press release out. So I don't know. But 5 million in a month worldwide is a lot. But yeah, either way, whatever it is, it's going to beat out. It looks very, very likely to beat out the Wii U's entire worldwide install base by the end of fiscal year. Probably by the end of January.
What I thought what you said before, it sold another 2 million, or no, it was
250,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the numbers in Japan this week will be really interesting. Because for the last 4 weeks, it was at like 80,000 and then 160,000 and then 220 and then went up to 260. I don't think it's going to be 260 this week. That would be crazy. But it would be nice to see it around like the 180 mark, something like that.
Well, you just said 180, and I'm looking at $1.
Well, then that's it. It's going to be 180.
And I'm looking at Jesus.
Hello, Name King Clown. All right,
That's
that's your
pretty
top
crazy.
stories, my friends.
180.
Now, who played something they want to talk about?
I started playing something.
Well, look, talk about it.
Let's hear it.
I started playing ukulele.
You got ukulele?
Nope, but I've just been playing it in my mind.
I'm just very surprised. You got it on Switch?
Yeah, because you say good things, and then I go, you know what? If Raw Meat says I gotta play it, I gotta play
That
it.
is,
This guy's so funny, man. Like,
I'm such
how
a
many
sucker.
how many games are we trying to like play with him, or like get him to play even Zelda Breath of the Wild, and he's buying?
I'm
this?
gonna back Nicky Hill here. He's Since the Switch, he's been like
Wait, so
good to
Kirby
play.
and I have to pick sides?
No, he's
Oh.
been good to play. He's played online. We've been playing. Yeah, I got a default.
Oh, that's only been the last couple months when I'm not working.
No, I said since Switch, like you've been picking up games and playing them, and yeah, when you have time to play, that's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
the problem is
But it is funny that he has a
before,
Switch
like,
and hasn't played Zelda yet.
I buy a lot of games.
I mean,
Well, that's because I got it when I was in the middle of working, and I was very busy, and I think you can all agree that that's a game that you can't just play and sit down for, or set it down for a couple of months and then come back to it. So now that I've had a couple months off, I should have picked it up, and I haven't.
But tell me about ukulele.
Well, this is going to be a big surprise. I don't like how I control it.
With a controller.
I'm falling off of platforms left and right.
Did you play any 3D platformers in the N64 days? I'm not mocking you. I'm seriously asking.
I played Mario 64.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's the platforming aspect that I have a hard time, because it's not like any other third-person game. They play very differently, I guess.
Yeah, because
those are not jumping on platforms in the middle of the sky.
Yeah, plus they baby you. Everybody's got like a grip mechanic, or like, ooh, I'm gonna fall off, or all that crap.
I'm falling off of stuff. I'm trying to like roll up slippery slopes, and I'm rolling off of them.
Where are you?
Well, that's the other thing. I feel like
I don't know.
Like I think Dew said it.
Stop that.
Last week, how playing Odyssey, he just can't spend all of his time in one place and like complete it. Like you want to move on and continue the story or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ukulele is enormous. There's a lot to do.
Did you expand the first level? I guess
I didn't.
Oh.
And I feel like I'm so overwhelmed with.
So you're just in the first part of the first world.
Yeah, but mind you, I'm doing a lot of falling. And I also have this weird brain thing where I can't remember, like, the level isn't that big.
It is not.
But I run around and then I'm like, oh, there's something I got to do over here, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, whenever I do any like 3D platformer, I play it the same way. I'll go into a new stage and I'll go clockwise. And like I'll see other things I want to do, but I'm like, I need to map this out mentally. So I'll go clockwise, and then like the first set piece that I see, I'll go in there and like check it out and see what I need to do and work on that. Come back out, continue my path around, and it helps me keep track of it. Yeah, if you just wander in there and you're like, oh my god, there's so much stuff, then
is that how you
gets
did
confusing.
Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I went around the map clockwise. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I went all around the outer edges,
and
I would go to any like towers I would see there, open up that portion of the map. That was my goal. And then after that, I went and got the other towers that I missed. You know, worked my way inwards.
So that's the other thing. Then there's no map, so that's why I have a little bit of a hard time.
There is no map. Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I like a game, again, babying me, where you talk to somebody and they give you an objective, and it logs that objective for you. Because I know I've talked to people and I don't know where they are now, and I don't know what I was supposed to do for them.
You talked to the pig knight, I guess?
I did his stuff.
Yeah.
I tracked everything.
You found all the pigs?
Yeah. There was something else there.
So you got the pagey from the last pig?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. There was a couple other things like walking around. There's like 3 or 4 things in that first level to do, and I don't know.
You didn't do boss because you didn't expand the level.
No.
Okay. Boss is really funny.
It's
got really like its dialogue's really funny.
Is you only expand the level once?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I should have gone back and expanded.
Yeah, so I went in, did everything that I could possibly see that I could do. Yeah. I had enough stuff to expand the book. You need to expand the level.
That's what I thought.
Because I was in the same.
And now I'm in the snow level, and there's a ghost, a red ghost. He's angry, and I don't know how to get him.
I think the red one's always angry.
Probably.
I think you just have to hit him. If I remember right, you have to hit him, but he'll like go for an attack to get you, and then after he passes you, you can go in and smack him.
Something simple, and I can't handle it.
But so you didn't expand the first level, and you went on to the ice world. That's the second one. Yeah. I mean, especially when you expand, it's big. Yeah, there's a lot to do. Because in the first level, when you expand, it adds a ton of verticality. Like there's you might have climbed things in the first level and been like, this doesn't go anywhere. Like, what am I supposed to do?
You can see, like, I was reminded of, like, I don't remember if it was, I think it was Resident Evil 4 or something, where you were like, you can see that castle over there, and you're like, man, I want to go there one day. And then you go there! And it's the same thing. Like, there was a section where I went out, and I was looking out, and there's, like, silhouettes of buildings and, like, a castle or something out in the clouds. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I just thought that was going to be all the other lands were kind of, you go into the books to get to these lands, but then they're all kind of intertwined.
Yeah, it's crazy how well that game runs. It blows my mind. As far as Switch games that impress me with how well they run, that's high up on my list. Because especially when you expand the level, there's stuff all over the place, and you can see all of it. They did a really good job with it. Like, I was blown away by it. But yeah, there's a lot to do. How do you like Trouser Snake?
It's charming.
Yes, I like that guy.
That's the funny part is, like, I had to start just, like, hitting A to get through the text, because listening to everybody, like,
yeah, they say like they make a noise for every syllable.
Like, I needed to just get past that, but
man, if you like looking in the distance and seeing a place you're gonna go to, play Zelda for God's sake.
Right.
What? Zelda?
Yeah.
There's certainly a lot to see there. Yeah. I mean, I can guarantee.
That
I
game
don't
scares
know. Would you say you've seen
the
everything there is to see in Zelda?
Really?
Oh, I've seen everything.
the
The
scope.
commitment.
No,
Yeah.
but if you look
Just
at
the
my
time.
Oh,
little,
your
like,
path.
I'm
Yeah,
terrified
yeah.
I'm gonna have to set it down.
Been all over.
it looks like I've been everywhere.
I set it down.
Yeah, I certainly haven't
picked it
seen
back up
everything,
again.
but I.
I was just playing the DLC the other day,
Just
and I saw something I never saw
No,
before,
I
like
played
a
it
whole
forever
section.
ago.
I was like, I've been all over here. How have I not seen this
I
thing?
did not play Zelda this week.
Did you play anything else? Any more about ukulele, or you're good?
No, I just played that for a few hours.
Anybody else want to say anything?
I played a game.
Yes, Mombri?
So if you listened for a long time, you know that I have a very, very good and dear old friend, Wheelie, who I went to college with. We played Ocarina of Time together and have played all console Zelda games since together. She came up for a visit, and we did not play Zelda, but we did play Blossom Kingdom?
Nope.
Night?
Nope.
Blossom Story.
Nope. Tails.
Tails.
Oh, yeah.
Played Blossom Tales.
Dancing around that one.
Got through all the way through the first dungeon. It was a blast. It had a nice little Zelda feel with some shout outs to some other cool games.
I mean, like I said, it's Zelda, just not Zelda. Like, Link and Zelda aren't in it, but it plays exactly the same.
Yeah, and they know it. It's not like they make a joke of it. So it's not like, you're like, oh boy, this is a knockoff.
And that dungeon you did, I really like that dungeon.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
liked
It does a great job of feeling like Zelda, but also doing different things. It's a really well put together dungeon with like a really good flow to it. It's good, and I like the song in that dungeon. The only thing I would say is like I think it's harder than traditional Zelda games, which I like. I feel most traditional old school 2D Zelda games aren't too difficult.
So we're playing last night, and I would say I'm a mediocre gamer at best. And
I give you 6 out of 10, depending on the game.
Solid 6.
It's not bad.
Like Thumper, like we were talking about last week, you did fine on that. I give you a solid 8 on that.
I give a nice
Then
number.
before you had a seizure, you had to stop.
Right. I got motion sick is really what it boils down to. So there were a couple of times we were playing and like we died, and we had like a question, and Raw Meat's like, I don't know, I never died, or like I never had to use a potion.
Now,
like, he wasn't
That's
mean
exactly-
about
I
it.
didn't say it like that.
No, you were trying not to be like.
There's no way for me to say I don't know, I didn't die, but that's sounding like an asshole. Yes,
I know.
I know.
I mean, it just was, it was funny.
And like, what happens when you die? Can you continue? And I was like, I mean, it's like other Zelda games, so I'm guessing yes. And Wheelie was like, you didn't die, did you? You don't know. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't.
See, that's a nice way. You didn't say.
Yeah, but
you
then
didn't
after
die,
I
you left
said
that part out.
after I said that, she goes, "Oh, I didn't die. I don't know what it's like." I was like, "There's no way I can say it."
It's like when you play and you're like, Robbie, what am I supposed to do here? And he goes, well,
What did I do?
When I played it, I didn't have someone
Who
to ask.
told me
I had
when
to
I
figure it
played?
out on my own.
Well,
geez,
so-
Dad.
I get. You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
You want me to tell you?
I feel.
I get that all the time.
He doesn't say it to me like that. He says like, "Do you want me to tell you?"
Yeah, that's it.
Like where it's like another
I get
guilt
the
thing where
high.
it's like I could tell you,
Are you serious?
but it's kind of the same as you just
Mr.
going
Spark.
online to a walkthrough. I mean, I could tell you, but it's like spoiler.
I mean, I could change and be. I'll just flat out tell you from now on when you ask. I could do that.
So we had to have a conversation because I get, like anxious about what I'm doing, and then I'm gonna screw up or whatever. And then I take it as when Raw Meat says stuff, I take it as him talking to me like I'm really dumb. And he's
And no matter how I say
he's
it.
my father. He's my father telling me that I should be getting better grades and that now he has to ground me and he has no other
This
choice.
Zelda grade is a little low for my life.
So then last night, and Wheelie never upsets me. She's the perfect partner. She provides snacks, emotional support. She's fantastic.
Yeah, I think if you guys would stop eating snacks, you'd do better at the game.
Well,
my
that's not
honest
happening. I
answer.
gotta
Yeah,
have a
I know.
Funyun.
Yeah, I know.
Last night it was dried mangoes. So, they're so good.
Oh man, they probably
So-
have the controllers all nice and sticky.
I had to already before we played. I'm like, I want you to see there's gamer gunk here prior to my touching it. Which reminds me, I gotta get a Q-tip out. Anyway, we're playing.
Yeah,
We
touching my
determined that
controller.
Raw
I
Meat
guilt
has to address me as, "Hey girl, if you turn left there, it'd probably be better. Hey girl, did you notice the crack in that wall?" And then I'm fine. It's fine. He just says, "Hey girl," and then I'm good. So it's a fun game. I
Definitely
recommend
doesn't
it.
Sound like your dad.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, right.
I highly recommend it. If you're looking for, I'm not gonna say it's like a must play, but it's definitely a good time. It definitely scratched the itch.
Well, see,
that-
that's the thing. It makes you think: is it not a must play because it's not Zelda, and is Zelda a must play because of the name?
Maybe.
Because the gameplay is exactly the same,
Yeah, I mean,
or pretty much exactly the same.
I enjoyed it. I had a nice time.
Yeah, it's definitely good stuff.
Fun to the blossom.
Greatly,
for a nice time.
greatly enjoying it.
I forgot to say one thing about ukulele. There's when you go into your first person view, you're supposed to click the left thumbstick. It doesn't work all the time for me.
It is a little delayed. Yeah, sometimes
It just wouldn't work at all. I don't know.
Well, depending on where your camera is, sometimes you can't do it. So you did that. You guys play anything you want to talk about? You obviously haven't.
I haven't. No.
Just the Jackbox games we played.
Yeah, that's right. We played
which were Fibbage and
Fibbage, bracketeering, and
Bracketeering.
Survive the Internet.
And we did the
Yeah.
fibbage enough about me. We did both fibbages.
Yes, the personal
Oh, that's right, there were
for
two
your
fibbages.
friends fibbage, and then just flat out fibbage. So trying to think if I haven't played anything because I've been hanging out with Dew.
Guilt.
No, because I
Guilt
want
watch.
to. I can't. I don't think I played anything.
What?
You guys haven't been splatting with the boys?
No, the boys are here.
You can't
we
splat with the boys when they're
Yeah, I can't think of anything. My plans were to play Life is Strange, but I haven't done
Did
it
all the
yet.
stories come out?
Yeah, we're good to go. All 3 are out.
No, 2018. My resolution is to not play as many games.
I need to get back in that universe, man. I just loved that series. Really, really enjoyed it. I know this one's a prequel, but still, you get to see more of what's her face, Chloe, and oh boy, I almost said something terrible. Can't say that.
You know,
Chloe and the other girl. You remember her name?
No.
I gotta stop talking. I'm gonna spoil stuff. I'm saying terrible stuff. I can't say. Yeah, I need to play that.
Spoil. Butterfly.
No. Yeah. So I didn't play anything, but there's plenty I want to play.
Can I just say I've completed, not 100%, mind you, because I can't handle that stuff. I don't have the skills to get everything in every game, but I've completed 10 games this year.
Congratulations.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
What was your
Nice.
favorite?
Almost one a month.
I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
It's all a blur.
I don't know. I enjoyed them all. Everything I play with a reason. And I like them all. Is that a wrong mean answer enough? They're all different.
I like them all.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to log into.
I've been thinking about Ryan.
There we go.
I've been thinking about you.
You've been thinking about what?
I've been thinking about
How many you
Ryan.
beat Ryan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a game that you like think about after you finish it.
Boy, did that game chug along.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, they just put out
Man,
a.
really could have smoothed that out. No, I'm just
That's
kidding. It was a good game.
that's totally Tequila Works' fault. They took so long to basic. I don't know for sure, but my guess is they don't want to do what they need to do to make it run right. So they're just trying to take what exists and tweak it to make it work. Whereas Playtonic was like, we need to do like some major overhauling to get this to work on Switch, and they did it.
Right.
But these guys took the same amount of time and just kind of try to like fudge it on the Switch. They're like, here you go, everybody. This is what we did in the 6 months where we delayed the game, and everybody's like, what did you do? And so now they put out another message, and they're like, they're going to take some time to see what they can do to fix how the game runs. So.
I've already finished it.
Yep.
Don't do me any favors.
I know. All right, question. Ryan says, have you ever considered Donald's trumping your beard into a hairpiece that wraps over your head? You would look very presidential.
Let's not get political.
I mean, I have done something like that. I've done like a
make
beard,
sure it looks
like
a merkin.
comb over. But yeah, I'm
I
not
would,
much for styling. You want to get the music on?
I wouldn't live with you anymore if you model the look
I
after
bet
me.
you would.
Nope.
Joey says, what is your favorite system startup or system startup sound? That's a good question.
Windows 95.
I love those little jingles. Yeah, I wish more systems did it. Like,
I've got two.
does PS4 do anything?
I mean, nothing. No, I don't think so.
This is a great question. I want to go through this. All right, so let's go through systems. PS1 had...
I was going to say PS1 and GameCube are my favorites.
And like the logo would come up and you hear the, I don't know, it's like a sparkle noise where it's like...
It's like...
And then PS2 was just what? Oh. Right, that was it? Like it just went, oh, and it said PS2?
Yes. I don't
Oh, no,
remember.
PS2 was
I don't remember.
the... It had the graphical representation of your memory cards. It was like the towers. It was like blue and gray towers, and it was like...
It's so funny because
some like... I'm going to look it up.
Man,
Was that
I don't
Mrs.
even
Boots
remember
Meow?
that.
Oh, this question legitimately is making me very happy. I love system startup stuff.
I thought the GameCube was cool, and then when you found out you could hold down a button and like it
Yeah.
spun into like the memory card screen, that was
All right, here we go.
amazing.
Here's PS2.
Oh, okay.
I remember that.
I remember that.
I get it now. I remember. It's so funny for the amount of times I booted that thing out.
And the more towers on your screen was based on the more data you had on your memory card. PS3 was just the... Oh, no, there it is. It was that, too! What a time to be alive. That's what I originally thought it was, but I forgot about the other thing. So I don't know what...
PS3 was the
PS3.
wavy.
Yeah, I know that. I'm trying to think of a sound, though. PS3, I know, had like the... Like in the background where you're sitting on the menu, but I don't know if it has a startup.
Quick, check it out.
I remember the original Xbox startup because I hated it. It was like the bubbling green bubbles and the like Xbox logo, and I was like, and then the controller flew at you, and it went beep. Hated that one. My favorite might be the Dreamcast. I've always loved the Dreamcast one.
Oh, yeah.
Felt it was like very relaxing, I guess you'd say. Dreamy, yes, that's what it was.
Dreamcast.
Just the all white screen and the bouncing ball and the swirl. I like it all.
And it sounds like you're in a cave.
I really like that one.
It's a good one. It is good.
Yeah, maybe we should talk about Nintendo. So
That
Nintendo,
reminds me
Super
of, like,
Nintendo,
Cinco
and
products.
64 didn't have
It
didn't
does.
have anything. GameCube had a great one that you could switch between different sounds with your controllers. Wii didn't have a startup sound. Well, yeah, it did. It went bong, right when you went to the menu.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Wii U. Wii U's got nothing except like the pitter patter of the Mii feet when they run into the Mii Plaza. Switch doesn't have anything. It does the bloop when you hit the controllers, like you hit the button 3 times, but there's no startup sound. Xbox 360. Feel like I should remember that one really easily, and I don't.
I don't remember anything about it. Isn't that horrible? I just remember
See it so
PlayStation
many-
1 and
See it so
GameCube.
many times.
That's it.
I'm gonna look it up. I couldn't tell you what the Xbox One does because I hardly ever play it.
It does nothing for me, I tell you that.
Oh yeah. Whoa. That's what it was.
Mhm.
Well, I guess it didn't mean a lot.
Is that the actual startup noise? Because I remember
I feel like it is.
or was it just something they played in commercials?
No, that was the original because they updated it multiple times.
Oh, that's okay.
Game Boy had, the pudding, and Game Boy GBA had that fancier one. What did DS have? Oh, it had the where the two screens
Oh, my
hit on the
goodness,
thing.
yeah.
What does 3DS do? Does 3DS do anything? Yeah, it must.
There's something to see.
There's something to see there. I'm gonna look it up. That's terrible. The system that's out now, and I can't remember the startup.
I mean, I never turn it on and excited for that sound or anything. I'm just like, let's get to the game.
Oh, that's why we don't remember it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So yeah, I'm going with Dreamcast. You're picking.
I don't know. I might have to. Did you say Dreamcast?
Yeah, I'm going with Dreamcast.
Oh,
I
that's
love
what-
the Dreamcast.
that's
I don't know why. I thought that was like 2. And you were doing a. Anyways, forgive me. It's definitely for me. It's got to be between the GameCube and the PlayStation 1. And I hate to say PlayStation 1, but I might have to.
I would go with
that.
PlayStation 1 over GameCube. I love the GameCube one. It's quirky and it's fun, but when I started up the PS1, I was like, "This is the future of games." Like, there's something about it that's like futuristic
I
and like
remember-
high tech. Yeah,
I remember playing
what
it because at the
happens on
time,
PlayStation
it was N64.
If it's on PlayStation.
let me show you. PlayStation.
Is that what it is?
And now because I don't have a
You know what?
system.
I'm gonna be honest. The PlayStation 1, I loved it, and it kind of scared me a little bit, but in a good way.
I'm sorry, but you were saying coming from the N64.
Well, yeah, because it was the first thing I'd seen with the disc.
Yeah, I think that's why.
And I remember Tekken 2. I was like, the graphics are never getting better than this. It's the best graphics I've ever seen. And it's ridiculous now.
Ooh, that's nice.
And that's not the logo that was on there. Never mind.
Yeah.
It was. That's exactly what it was. That's what I remember.
And that's the part that kind of scared me because you usually went from that to like silence because the disc was loading. So you're just like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you never knew.
and then the
if it
game
was-
would be like, "Bwah!" Like something to start playing. And eventually, like a couple of years after, developers learned to like start with a slow sound because you're sitting in silence waiting and something hits.
So
That's
does it have
fun.
to
I
be
like
a
that.
system?
I don't know why.
Because
Think
for me,
computer?
it's Sega.
Well, that's true. That's a startup sound. You hear that in
No,
most
that's-
games, yeah.
That's
stuff.
my
Well,
favorite.
that was. I mean, was
And
that
then Sega switched from Sega to
Sega.
yeah.
did the Sega Genesis ever start up like that though?
No, it was
Just-
a game.
No, it didn't have like a startup
The
screen, but
games
the
did,
games.
yeah.
I mean, a lot of, almost, if not all the games had that Sega logo there, and sometimes characters would interact with it and stuff like that. But Sega games specifically,
Yeah,
had
like Sonic would like
the
run
singing
into
one
it
or
and
the
put his back
screaming
against
one.
it, right?
like Earthworm Jim. I know starts up with Earthworm Jim standing there playing like an accordion next to it, and like I think the cow falls on it.
Don't Toe Jam and Earl do something with it?
I don't remember.
Well, all I hear in my head is
And then there were the crappier Sega games where they didn't even bother with any of that, and it just went bow, bow. Like I guess they didn't have enough room because the game was bigger.
I like
so.
that sound.
Well, that was an awesome question. Thank you, Joey. Tell me yours, Joey. You didn't tell us. So if you want to send us a question, send them to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com.
I mean, tell me.
Don't use mine.
I think it's GoNintendo. Yeah, GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. All right, let's do some trivia.
Music trivia?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, then.
Do you have any
in that
music?
case-
So what happened last night? HQ crapped
I got
out and
music.
then
You want to hear
It
it?
came back eventually,
You wanna
much
hear
later.
it?
with twice as much to win.
When we were playing Jackbox. So then my aunt texted me and she's like, "They did a Nintendo question."
Damn it.
All right,
Number
so
12. You would have won.
numero
Oh,
uno.
very good.
Song number
Let's
1.
get this show on the road.
Let's get this party started. Let's get the show on the road. Comes from Andy
The zombie.
the Zombie. And here it is.
Killer Instinct.
Yes.
Is it just? I know the song is Play Hard, but I don't know if it's N64 or Super Nintendo.
64.
Yeah. So Killer Instinct Gold.
Yeah.
Let it go because it's so bad good.
Her moves are like,
Oh, I know. Yeah. She got 2 drums.
yeah. All right, so the next one comes from Nate Senpai.
Notice me, Senpai. Notice me. Ghost Trick?
No.
What's this thing? Is it a portable?
Oh, what's that game where you have to like dance?
Rhythm Thief?
Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's.
That's a really good guess. That fits the vibe perfectly. Wow.
Well, that's not it.
It's got like a cowboy bebop loop on the third feel to it.
Nope.
It's not Mario Kart.
Nope.
It's a Wario. Wario gets funky.
Is it a Ace Attorney?
It's not first party, right?
Pokemon?
Oh, it might be
I
first
don't know
party.
if it's first party or not.
Is it a character from Nintendo? Oh, then it's not first party. Feels like a Atlas RPG? Atlas game? Is it anime? Are there anime characters?
I mean, nobody I know.
Are there waifus?
Is there a Funarian?
Futanari.
Is there Futanarian? Oh,
After
You
show,
know.
after show. All right, we all know. Go ahead.
You got this wrong last time too, I think. Pocket Card Jockey.
Oh,
those are
I do love that game, but I don't remember the music at all.
This
It's
song comes to us from Rob.
It's a game. It's horse racing and solitaire put together. That's what it is.
Two
Got my
pluses.
attention.
It's good. It's on the phone.
Rob wants us to know. Rob left a little message. Just wanted to say thank you all so much for the past 11 years of podcasts I've gotten to listen to. I can't thank you all enough.
He's quitting this year.
And I believe this
His
could
New Year's
be
resolution.
how Rob says
Resolutions.
thank you to you.
Oh well, Shantae, the original. Let it go. Man, that hurt. He makes the Game Boy Color sing. How the hell?
That's
is
what I
he
wanted
do
to
that?
ask about ukulele. Right, Kirk Hope or Kirk?
It is Grant Kirkhope and the other guy. Oh, I like the other guy better. What's his name? David? No. David, no. David Wise. David Wise.
So that was Shantae on the Game Boy Color.
David Wise did Donkey Kong Country,
From
1, 2, 3, and Tropical Freeze, and a whole bunch of other games in there.
Here comes a little tune from our friend the Sacred Wolf.
Oh my God!
I
It's
know.
Donkey Kong Country, but I'm gonna go with Tropical Freeze.
It is.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I just listened to the soundtrack last week.
Well, there you go. That was from the Sacred Wolf, and it was Donkey Kong Country
That
Tropical
David
Freeze.
Wise, man.
Here comes
So good.
one from Rat Trap.
Yuzo Koshiro just celebrated like his 55th birthday or something like that. This is Sonic Colors?
No.
Oh no, it's Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
It's that guy. What is it? Hoobastank? Is that what I said it was? Yeah, wait, let's see if they shows that version.
I can't do this alone, even though I'm strong.
Sega got the lead singer from Hoobastank to sing the new theme song for Sonic Forces. Like,
That was from
how do
Rat
you
Trap,
piece that together?
I'm not impressed.
and it was Sonic Forces on the Switch. Here comes one from Jet Jaguar.
Focus, Altex. Started out like the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Is this like Animal Crossing or something?
I can't even place the system. It sounds really. It sounds like it could be really, really good Super Nintendo.
It's not Super Nintendo.
What is it then? I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
N64.
64.
All right, so bad N64. It's one way or the other.
Isn't 64 like all that?
There's a few good ones in there. Like this, at least the quality of the sounds is much better than your average N64 game. Okay. Let's think about this. A Bomberman.
No.
That's one with good music. Anything by Rare. But it doesn't have a Rare sound to me at all. It's not Rare, right?
Not as far as I know.
No, it doesn't feel like Rare. Could be first party.
It is.
Okay. Could be Kirby.
No.
Okay. Could be Yoshi. No, it's not Yoshi.
Paper Mario?
No, but you got the right character.
All right, Mario Golf.
No.
Mario Party.
No.
Mario Tennis.
Mm.
Mario 8? Is it a Mario Kart?
No.
Mario Maker.
No.
What other is it a Mario game?
Yeah, it's about Mario.
Mario, one of the RPGs, right?
Well, he said Paper Mario, and there's no other
It
RPG
is
on it.
not an RPG.
Jennifer System?
Huh?
64. And it's a Mario.
What the hell is this that we can't get it?
And it's not Mario 64.
It's not Smash Brothers.
Mario Party.
Yeah, I said that.
Mario
Not-
Math. What's that Math Mario game?
It's not Yoshi's Story.
No.
What the hell else is there on 64 that's Mario related?
Mario's missing.
Super Nintendo.
I don't know these things.
I didn't yell at you. Wow. I don't want to give up on this one.
Oh, but we named all of them.
Just give me a couple more seconds.
The download title.
I'm gonna guess no.
I don't think so.
It's the 64.
I'm just saying. I
Hey
don't-
girl, it's the 64.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead. I
Is
don't
there a
know.
Mario
I'll
game that
throw
came
it.
out just for like Rumble or something?
Now there's. I
If
can't
it's some
tell
Japanese.
version of this as well.
What?
Dr. Mario?
Yes.
Oh! Good job. I never
Dr.
played
Mario
Dr. Mario on the
64.
64, and obviously that's not one of the songs we all remember from Dr. Mario.
So that was from Jet Jaguar. Dr. Mario 64.
Good one, Jet Jaguar.
Glitter Bubble 3 sends us this one. Just give it a sec.
Should I know this right now? Shadowman? Shadowman, one of the few N64 games I'll stand by.
I thought that one scared you, right? Or you liked that one?
Yeah, I liked it. It was weird. Very weird, but I liked it.
I like Shadow Man.
I'm sure it doesn't hold up now. Like, I haven't played it since then, but
You're not like a
those
nostalgic
tinted glasses.
player.
No.
Shit's about
We
to
can
get-
go on.
Shovel's about
We
to
can
get
go on
lit.
to the next one.
I thought it was gonna get exciting.
Shadow
Is
Man.
that the sound
Shadow
of
Man.
helicopters flying over a military field?
Perhaps. This one comes from Guy Bonds.
Oh, it started off like that. All right, so Punch Out in the Arcade.
Nope. Sorry. This is the
Psych
next song.
Punch Out 2.
Yeah, I almost thought it was it.
Whoops.
Punch Out.
Guy
Harder. Punch Harder.
It starts out like Punch Out.
Yeah, it's very
He's,
punch out.
he said that you're gonna say that, but that's not it, and you get no half points.
No.
What is it? Like
Well, then I don't
Why
know.
do we
Let
let Brothers
these
or
people
something?
make the rules. Then I don't know. Yeah, I'm not going to guess
It's
this.
clearly a trick
I
question.
got no idea.
It is Arm Wrestling Arcade.
Uh,
Well, or just Arm Wrestling.
You don't you remember that one?
Right.
I don't even remember arcades.
All right, this one comes from Mikey3319.
Oh, G-Man.
No.
One day.
Rygar.
No.
Dude, yeah. And they yo-yo around. Street Fighter 2010.
No.
Like Legend, no. Wings. Something about wings.
Legendary wings.
Yeah.
You've been really going for that.
We got nothing, right? I don't know.
It was G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
Never played it.
On the NES. Last song for 2017.
Oh.
This is nothing. I didn't.
Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
Comes from Zoso187.
Advance Wars.
Advance Wars. I thought that was part of the song.
Wait a minute. I know this.
Yeah, probably.
What system?
I freaking know. SNES.
Wow.
This is bringing back memories.
In your direction.
Well, he's my Super Nintendo guy.
I know. That's fine.
No, it's not.
Licensed?
Yeah.
It reminds
It's
me
in a
of that.
Batman game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's got
This part of the game reminds me of that.
Batman
Look at
Returns
my
or
horse,
Batman-
my
Batman
horse.
Forever.
Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
There you go.
No.
That's why. Because it sounds like the Genesis game, but the Genesis game has way better music than that one. Yeah,
Genesis
that's
does
it.
what Nintendo don't. I believe you only got two wrong, right? You didn't get arm wrestling.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't get G.I. Joe.
No.
And you didn't get something Pocket Card Jockey.
Yeah.
So 70%.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no,
We'll
it's
take
not-
it in the year. All right. Well, everybody have a great end of your year. Celebrate responsibly. Spend it with friends and family. They like you.
Dude, you got anything?
I was
Anything?
hoping no one would ask, but I'm not here often.
Do you have a New Year's
Uh,
resolution?
Yeah, I have a New Year's resolution. This is true.
Or you
Um,
can- New Year's revolution.
You know, I don't. I just wanna say, you know, we'll just get serious here. I just want to say it's been a real treat for me to be back here on the show the past 2 weeks, and I've I don't know, I really miss it, and I think about it every single weekend wherever I am, and it's because of you guys, and you've you know, you clearly have people who feel the same way because they keep coming back to listen, and I'm just proud to be here and proud to be your friends. So. Happy New Year.
Aw. This is true. This is true.
This one's true.
This is
This
true.
one's
This is
true,
definitely true.
actually.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
Oh, so what's Funari?
Oh, Futanari.
Futanari.
It is. Picture your. Let me paint the picture for you. You too. You, because you don't know.
Close your eyes.
Beautiful
Breathe deep.
anime girl of age, so we can make this. You don't feel
So
bad
13.
about it. Yeah, 13. Yes. Of age, and you're like, man, this girl's great. Look at that face. She's got a beautiful face. Close your eyes, Kirby. You're not picturing it.
Oh, sorry.
What a beautiful face. Yeah. Let me move down a little bit. Oh, look at them boobs. They're just the size that I like because I don't know what you like. And then you keep going down. You're like, yeah, look at this. Wait, what's going on down when I go a little lower? Oh my God, there's a penis here.
I knew
But
that.
wait, I kind of like it. That's Futanari.
Futanari.
I liked your reactions to it as I was describing. It really made it for me. Yes, that is Futanari. Beautiful anime women with beautiful penises. I guess it doesn't have to be anime, but that's where you're going to find it most. Unless you go to Rule 34, and anything could have a penis.
Yeah.
What do you like? Refrigerator? It's got a penis. Doesn't matter. They got it all.
I got it all,
What
baby.
do you like?
Well, Rule 34 is about anything being sexual, so I didn't want to think of just like characters. It could be whatever, tree stump.
Is there a reason why it's like the 34th rule? Is there a reason behind
Rule
that?
34 is if it exists, there's porn of it. That's the rule.
But it's not like there's 33 rules.
If there are, I don't know the other ones. Yeah. When did Rule 34 start? I have no idea. Max Amaldo says, "Oh, okay, we're talking about Futanari now." Yep, that's the kind of podcast this is.
Say, you think about the podcast every weekend when you're text messaging him at like 3:45.
Yeah, there were like 4 shows in a row where you would text me right at the start of the show.
And it's great because like I won't talk to you all week or contact you all week, and then
That's
I'll
what I
have
was
to
saying.
tell you something, and everything I tell you is always nothing that I have to tell you either. You know, like at the time I'm like, I gotta tell him right now, and it's always something ridiculous.
Aloe Wolf says, "I love this podcast," and Blake Morris says, "Scott Rogowski Rule 34."
I bet it's there.
Malakalo says, "Go Nintendo Rule 34." Malakalo, draw us something.
Don't put.
I'll make it the podcast
There is
picture.
no Go Nintendo Rule 34. I think Luke's looked, right?
I don't know, but it could
You know what?
exist right
Let's
now.
leave it that way.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
not.
we don't
Let's
need.
not.
I don't think I can handle
We don't
it.
need Mother Brain with Futanari pics or.
I think we do.
Someone drew me naked in detention once when I was in high school.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Huh, that's
Hey,
probably worth something today.
Detention
One of their
is
friends
a sad and lonely place. You're there if you're there until 5 o'clock. The mind wanders.
You gotta draw
got nothing
everyone
to do.
naked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're there
Was
every
that-
day, why
Was
not?
that person Rami Cowboy?
No, because that was the day I ditched her to go see the Phantom Menace.
Ooh, worst mistake you
And
ever
she was
made.
like,
God.
"You ditched me, and somebody drew me naked." I was like, "So it was good for both of us."
Wait, you
Well, we
ditched
weren't
her?
dating yet.
No, we're just
You
friends.
ditched her by skipping detention.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was in detention for a few days,
No,
and
but
I
that's
was
great.
like,
It's like-
"I'm going to."
Oh yeah, we got a hot date in detention.
Yeah, we weren't dating yet. We were just friends. And I said, I'm not. I hardly ever went to detention, and Star Wars had just come out, so I went with Lube and Dave right after school. They were like, "Don't you have detention?" I said, "Yes, I do. Let's go to the
See ya.
movie." I also skipped detention. I also skipped detention to see the Pokemon movie with Mom Brain.
I did
Remember
not
that?
skip detention.
Remember that? We were in line. There was a line at the door, and it was like 10-year-olds. The whole line, and me, I'm like,
So wait, you went to see the Phantom Menace instead of going to detention. Did you feel when you walked out of the Phantom Menace like you should have just gone to detention?
I did, yeah, I did. And I saw it again just to make sure, and I still felt that way.
Wait, you didn't like it even back then?
No.
Man, that's so funny.
We
I
all
remember-
talked about it when we were leaving the theater, and I was like, I need to see it again, but I didn't like it.
I remember seeing all 3 of them and like thinking I liked them, and it's like ludicrous now that I thought that because I can't even get through them.
Yeah, right. All right, guys, I'm going to end the live stream. We're done exporting. Thanks for joining us. Have a wonderful end to your 2017 and an even better 2018. We'll see you next year. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. All the best.